Good. Oops, I hear myself.
My love is for you.
What am I
So bad. Whoa, testing. I like this. It's a futuristic sound.
It does. It sounds good.
You don't hear that yet? You
It's coming
engineering stud.
Oh, is there an echo?
Off of this computer.
Oh. Echo.
Hey, Joe, how do I turn it?
Cause
the
my love
sound
is
off?
for you.
It got updated this morning, and now the sound's on.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'll come in and turn it.
Okay. The computer had a mind of its own, and Joe has to fix my computer every day. It's probably my user error.
That was me. I updated it. This one?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Wait a minute. Is Rumble running?
Should be.
I don't know.
Say that 5 times fast.
Is Rumble running? Rumble running?
Rumble running.
Rumble running?
A rumble brother. The rumba.
That is hard to say.
Rumble running.
Rumble running.
I saw an awesome video you posted yesterday with your granddaughter.
Oh,
It was cute. You're very good at those.
she just has my heart.
As she should.
And she was sick yesterday when I got off from the studio and came. I mean, it wasn't sick. She just, had a head cold. But to a grandma, that's, my own kids, when they had their arm could be falling off. Go to school, kid. But my granddaughter, I'm like, oh, you poor Will Fing. My kids will even say that. Yeah, Mom, we could be dying. You're like, take an aspirin, go to school.
Rub some dirt on it.
Exactly.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Uh-huh. But with my bald-headed girlfriend, it's just, I had to hold her all afternoon. I didn't have to. I wanted to.
Oh, man. That's good stuff. Oh my God. There was a news report this morning on Newsweek. Why Trump should jump out now. A conservative Republican viewpoint.
Oh, stop it.
That's the kind of bullshit that's put out there.
It really is. And that's the kind of crap that even our Republicans do that. They're insufferable.
An op-ed piece.
Of course. Of course.
Trying to see who wrote it. Somebody from Newsweek.
Oh, Newsweek is so left.
Well, of course. Oh, Wayne Gruden. I voted Republican twice. Trump should drop out.
Twice. He only voted twice. He probably voted for Mitt Romney and John McCain, and that's it.
Good morning, everybody. Bendy, Kimberly, Karen with a K. Welcome into the show, guys. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. As we get ready here, it's a Friday, December 15th.
Fridays are crazy fun.
Let's see. Do you know who whistles? Like a lot of whistling. I had no idea. He's a straight up whistler.
That's such a thing that somebody like whistles as an occupation.
Projo.
Oh yeah, Projo does. Yeah, he does.
We were sharing the studio after the show one day. I'm laying on my back on the ground of the studio, contemplating life.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to give you the visual. I'm laying there, just holding my phone up in the air, doing my phone, laying. I was like, I'm like, okay, where do we go? What kind of good thoughts do we have today? Positive affirmations post show. And then I hear a little whistling in the background.
That's awesome.
I was like, who's whistling? Is that? And it was Projo.
I think that's why I've always thought you kind of reminded me of my grandpa. Not because not because you're old at all. I mean, not that, but it's like my grandpa was like a whistler and always had a smile on his face.
Yes,
it's
like an older person.
Yes,
like a jolly person.
Yes,
like Santa Claus.
Yeah, and I think Joe's the youngest one out of all of us at this studio. But he's like jovial and whistles, and you just like to be around him. Did your dad whistle? Does your dad whistle?
No, I just It was a ADHD thing when I was a kid that I just whistled all the time, and I've just practiced.
I was told that people who whistle are generally happy, good-natured people.
That makes sense. And Trisha on the chat line is saying she can't whistle, and I can't whistle either. Maybe Trisha and I aren't happy.
Well, it's one of those things. I can only whistle sucking in.
Oh my gosh. Joe, did you get that?
I got it.
You got that? Mm-hmm.
You stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You stop it.
You stop it. Just stop it right now, Vic, with all of your nasty words over there.
How about Kevin Costner and Jewel?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Jewel,
What's the connection there?
aren't they dating or something now? Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I would have never saw that.
And the only reason
She's only 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Only.
I mean, but he's old. Isn't he like 70 or
Yeah,
something
I think
now?
he's close to 70. And the only reason I knew that was because that video I made of my granddaughter last night, with the Twinkle Twinkles by Jewel. And when I tried to find that song.
Oh, that was Jewel?
That was Jewel. Uh-huh.
And I just brought that video up. Go
Isn't
figure.
that funny? Yeah.
Yeah, he's 68.
Hmm.
Damn, Costner's the same age as my dad.
Bindi wants you and me, but I can't whistle. Well, Joe, you should do it. Whistle Jingle Bells.
Oh.
That was good, Vic. That was good.
It's hard to whistle with a smile on your face, and I can't do it right.
Whistle on command. Do it.
Right.
Do it right now, says Bindi. Mm-hmm.
With crackers in my mouth.
With crackers in your mouth.
It says show before the show, guys. Canceltheshow.com. Appreciate everybody jumping in, looking, getting everything in here. Hi, Elizabeth and Bindi and Mike. Good morning to you, Trisha, Greg. Sup? Turn the phone
Sup,
off.
Greg?
Sup?
But he tells himself to shut up because when Greg would be in here doing, producery stuff, he said that if I keep talking and you don't like it, just say sup. So he already was telling himself to be quiet. That's Greg for you.
He's something.
Yep. Greg is something.
He's a quirky kind of guy.
I call him Greggy. He reminds me of a Greggy. If there's such a word.
He's like a real life Griswold, if you ask me.
A real life Griswold.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, with some of the stuff that he brought in and put in our closet, that's true.
Yeah.
Like the attic in Christmas Vacation. He probably has an attic like that. Do you, Greg?
Let's see.
If you need something, he's got it. He needs to sign up with WeQuip.
He should. He could make a lot of money because he doesn't have to give the stuff
Thanks,
up.
Paula. I had a chance to look down and see your comment. We appreciate it.
He has a wagon too. Okay, so Greg, go get on WeQuip and put all that cool stuff you have on there and make some money.
I agree.
He's got some cool stuff. And probably stuff people don't have. Like when he brought those naked girls in here.
What the hell?
Well, those things I put the shirt on because it was like sticking out. I'm like, oh no.
They're little mannequin things that you can hang on the wall. And Lizzie didn't like that they were naked, so she put shirts on them.
But then apparently the shirts I put on offended people more than the naked body. Because the shirts were Trump shirts. And apparently somebody came in here and was like, well, we can't have Trump's face in here.
What do you got here? Hold on a second.
I see Lena. This is so cool. So Lena and Paula are both in school. So Paula's a teacher. And so she has the show on before her kids come in. And then Lena's a student and listens in her earphones.
What's up, Eric?
Woo! Yeah. Eric is here.
All right, let's go ahead and there we go. We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and start the show.
Yes. You caught me off guard. Hold on.
Oh, wow. You took his breath away, Eric.
Yeah.
Well, I've got his camera as the studio cam right now. I got to go in there and set him up while we're starting the show.
Yeah, you do.
I do see you looking at Eric with goo goo gaga eyes on.
Yeah, I think Joe likes Eric.
Yeah, I think you're not like
Where
that
did this
way.
come from? What happened?
Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening?
All right, here we go. Starting the show.
without my camera. That's all right.
Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. You guys rock. We love you. Thanks for listening and watching. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks in the house. Eric Johnson, Pro Joe as well. You know what we are. Cancelthisshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. You can catch all of our episodes on cancelthisshow.com. We have a merchandise site up there. You can check that out. We have a donate button. You can help our mission, what we have going on there. You can also check out our partners, our advertisers. We are grateful. Thanks for jumping in. We love you guys for your interaction with the show, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, on our website. Jump in on the chat line. I know most people take our show in after it's live, be it listening on the podcast or watching on those platforms. And all those platforms, of course, on cancelthisshow.com. You help us grow the show, and we appreciate it. All right, it's Friday, December 15th, episode 270. There's just something good about that number.
That is
270.
And don't you love it? Like Eric was here for our year show, and now he's here for 270. That's a big show. Big show, Eric.
It's time. Yeah. It's time. We're going to get your mic up here in just a second so we can hear.
The disrespect is on.
There's only one Joe. He's moving.
That's right. That's
See,
right.
We have a wall in between him, so he has to walk all the way out and around the studio to get to his section. He can't. We have.
There we go.
There we go.
He's out of breath.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I run. I don't just walk.
Yeah. We make him do
I walk
so
with
much.
some sense of urgency around here.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We got it all kicking Friday. Eric, how's life, my friend?
It's good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Saw you last Friday. It was good. Guys, I got some bad news out of the gate.
Oh, no. Not bad news on a Friday.
Well, here, it's bad news right now, but we'll see where it develops.
Okay.
Remember that whole dating game idea we came up last Friday with our friend Kelly Mano?
Yeah, I love it so much.
She may drop in studio during the 9 o'clock hour today.
Okay, good.
But she went out on a date.
Oh, so that might be off?
You know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with this.
It might, but
I'm cool.
Think of the transformation she's made.
Yeah.
On this show in a matter of a month.
This is crazy.
Eric, you called it.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
Human spirit outweighs anything that's in your brain. Okay. I'm never going out with nobody. Oh, I'm divorced. I'm good. Check me out. I'd rather just sit in my jammies watching Matlock all night. No, that's not how it works.
I know the guy.
You do?
Go figure. What are the chances? I can't say his name. We'll wait for Kelly to come in.
Yeah. Where's she at? I'm happy for her.
She's doing a breakfast this morning for Francis Howley, volunteer parents breakfast, because that's what she does in her spare time.
Yeah. She's a big Howley. That's
she does the volunteer breakfast. She's a substitute teacher.
Yeah.
And then she makes about $35,000-$40,000 a month as a social media content influencer.
Oh, that doesn't suck.
No,
that doesn't suck.
Her life doesn't suck.
If you can find that work, more power to you.
Exactly. She can walk into a classroom as a sub going, I don't need you. You need me.
That's right. That's right. Sit down and be quiet, children.
Exactly.
What does I look down and Jill says, I love Matlock. What the hell does that mean?
Well, because
Who doesn't love Matlock?
Well, because
You
Eric
mentioned it.
said, Eric did.
Oh, I
He
missed
said
it already?
She was at home watching Matlock.
I missed it. Sorry. I was doing what my kids do. They'll hear me and they're just waiting to say what they're going to say.
So the problem with Kelly is...
So she went on a date. She loved it. They hit it off.
Do you know the guy for real?
I do. And she asked me about him in advance this past week. And as soon as she said the name, I went. I said, Kelly, this is a perfect match. This is a great, great, great guy. And let's
call him up right now.
Yeah, I know.
Call him up right now. You know him
yet. We can't do that.
Let's call him up right now.
Yeah, I want to call him up.
He's
right
working.
Now, Eric.
So what?
Yeah, who cares?
And if Kelly makes it in at 9, we'll do it. If not, we'll talk to her next week to find out how the dating life is going. And by the way, if you don't know who Kelly Mano is, check her out on any of the social media platforms, and you'll see.
She's awesome.
She joins us on Fridays or every other Friday, and we just have some fun.
Okay,
so we'll do there.
That lasted no time, though. That was less than a month.
Yeah.
I'm
you called it. You called it.
And it is
Right?
a free-for-all Friday. So
I'm
we're going to be all
because
over
I
the
wanted
place
to do the dating game thing.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? We were really excited about
Yeah,
that.
I had a whole thing planned
But
for
who
that.
would really trust all their friends to set them up with somebody?
Yeah, it's entertainment purposes. Come on.
Well, I mean, but would you? Because you have those friends. Oh, I'm going to set you up with somebody. Oh,
I would love to see what my friends would set me up with.
I would be fun. I've got a couple friends that I think would pick somebody good for me. Bindy's on the chat line. She's a good friend of mine, and I think that she'd pick me somebody good.
You mean if you were single?
Yeah, you can't pick somebody now. I think David might, get rubbed the wrong way if that happened right now.
No pun intended.
Okay, so I could anyway. Rabbit holes. I would say, I would say this. I want to meet the guy.
Maybe you will.
No, I need to meet the guy. I need to talk to him. I need to find out his ilk. I got to find out what he's made of.
Yeah,
if he's good enough for the Kelly Mano.
I agree.
Here's the other thing. You better be damn ready to be in the public eye.
That's what she told me.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Kelly and I have been talking about this, and she's like, he's got to be patient when we go out. And this guy is patient. But but I've seen those little memes that are out there, and they said the best relationships are ones that are usually where one person in the relationship is like a ball of fire, and the other one's boring.
Taylor Swift. And Travis. I think that
one's crazy and one's boring.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's
to balance out. You need to find somebody like yourself because if somebody else isn't like you over the long haul, damn, that's lighting firecracker both ends.
Yeah. Have you ever been out? Did you ever date somebody? I know that social media is relatively new, but have you ever dated somebody that was so into social media and you weren't? I'm that way. I'm not into social media at all. I might check in every now and again. Oh, look, there's a deal at Walmart, whatever. But have you ever dated somebody that was like every other minute they're posting something, and sometimes it's about you?
Joe, are we on Rumble, buddy?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, we should be.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Rumble's working.
All right,
it's fine.
Yeah, now Kelly Mano's got to, she's got to post a lot about her new man.
Wait a minute. So people are posting that. You know what? You're right.
A good point.
You do get posted about.
I hate it. I hate it.
That's how I know about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you get posted about, but it's all good.
No, I don't know about that. I don't even know what my posts are about me. Apparently someone said the jihad was after me because I said something about whatever. I was like,
I didn't see that one.
What the hell are you talking about?
So that, especially this show, they'll see something you said and they will comment exclusively on what you said.
Yeah, true.
But that's like small change compared to what you would be like with Kelly.
Correct.
Because she's got an entire gaggle of people that that follow her.
Definitely does.
I got to talk to this guy anyway. Get him on the phone later. I'll talk to him.
we will deal with that. But I had to give that up. I had to let you know about that. Just
I
in case
appreciate
people started to ask. And by the way, if we don't get to do the dating game there, maybe we create it with somebody else.
Joe.
And
Jill on the chat line said we create it with Joe.
You know what? She might be screwing it up though. It's like
how
going.
So?
I'll tell you how so. Did you ever see that game? Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah.
Well, she already chose what was behind curtain number 1. She doesn't know what's behind curtain number 2, 3, and 4 yet.
Good point.
She could find someone even better.
But I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
This guy's like.
I don't know, man.
He's like top of the food chain in regards to what she needs.
All right.
Humble opinion.
Yeah.
If he and she have interest, man, it could be a match made in heaven. I
that's
recently
good.
helped another couple get set up. They've been dating, going strong for about 6 months.
Okay.
And I was asked by the woman, "Hey, you know this guy from social media. Tell me about him." So I did, and I'm like, "Go for it. I think you guys would work."
Yeah.
And 6 months later, they're rocking and rolling. They're talking about marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
If you hear,
it's easy to see how if there's a physical attraction, you can't hook that up.
Yeah.
But when you look at people and interests and where they are in life, yeah, I do think you can see those things.
Yes. If you hear someone go, "Yeah, thinking about going out with whoever," and they go, "Oh, they're nuts," stay away from them because they know something.
Yes.
But people have their own personal interests too sometimes. And they may say things because they don't like somebody, but that person could still work with somebody.
Well, that's true. If they're certifiably nuts, we all know that guy or that girl that really is nuts.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, and I think we overuse that right now.
I feel
But-
like you guys are talking about me behind.
No, we
back.
are not
I'm just
talking
kidding.
about
I'm kidding.
you.
I'm kidding.
We are talking about you. But anyway.
Yeah. Joe, how did you figure that out? We were.
I personally would not go out with anybody who was on Facebook all day long or Twitter or whatever.
Mhm.
I wouldn't, because if they get mad
What
at
if
you,
it was their job?
that's different. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they get mad at you, the first thing that they
Uh-huh.
think about doing,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a post about this, whether it's directed at you or whether it's ambiguous. You know that
There
are-
ambiguous
there's
I've
post?
had
people-
that about me.
Yeah.
Don't do that, anybody, please.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Have either of you guys had it? You guys know I've had it about me, and I was like, I didn't even know what I did to you.
Yeah, when you have to ask, is this about me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this isn't about you. Well, it sure does sound like it was directed at me.
Well, when your name is even kind of in there.
Well,
Yeah.
human nature can also make you feel like, oh, is this about me? And
Yeah.
you don't mean to be.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like,
Right.
what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a nasty business, this social media stuff.
It really can be.
You know, in the UK, there is a legislator who brought forth rules that kids,
Mhm.
illegal. I don't know how they would make this. It would be illegal, and kids under 16 would be unavailable to do any social media.
I think that's a good.
I saw it, and I'm
dude,
like,
I'm in.
I don't know how you could make this work, but hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
For kids under 16, 100%.
yeah. It's such a quagmire that we've gotten ourselves into because this whole First Amendment thing,
Mhm.
you know. But
Yeah.
it's so true. It's like, when is social? It is detrimental. I don't care what anyone says. You can say, oh, well, we can't do that. It's politically incorrect. If you were to step back as an alien from another galaxy and say, why are they letting their kids destroy their brains
Yeah.
with this iPads? Is that what you call it, an iPad? If an alien was to see this and go, you're destroying your kids' development,
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can't do anything right now because our Constitution affords so many rights
Yep.
to so
Yep.
many people.
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
Glenn says the only thing you post on social media, Eric, is scoring via field goals when you kick your
It's-
extra point
You know what?
or your
That's
field
not
goal
an
every
extra
year.
point, son. All right. Look, I'm taking a hernia just to do that stupid video every year.
Oh,
That is my evidence to you that I'm still alive.
I love that.
That's what it is.
That we know that you haven't fallen off planet.
It's my barometer to let you know how I'm doing in life. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. I pick a sunny day
yeah.
and I go out to a football field. It started one year. I was like, I was holding a football like I have in my hand right here.
Uh-huh.
And I was just going, I wonder if I could kick a field goal.
Mm.
And I put it down where the hash mark was, or like for extra point, and that
Yeah.
thing soared through. I was like, damn, let's move it back a few yards. And then it started from there, and I videotaped the first one, and then it was like every year I just want to see, I wonder if I can still get one through from this hash mark.
Yes, to see if
And
you
That's
still
it.
have
That's all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Glenn, thank you for noticing.
and it worked. And you have why'd you bring a football in today?
I actually don't know. I think this was an homage to the Raiders win last night.
Yeah, the Raiders dominated
Just
last
killing.
night. Poor little
Yeah.
LA Chargers.
That sucks.
Still want to call them the San Diego Chargers.
I know, me too.
It happens. We may be talking with Bob Onder here in just a second. He's running for lieutenant governor. We'll see if he calls in. If not, we got plenty to get to today. Okay. We got White House under Donald Trump, the White House Christmas under Joe Biden.
I saw this.
Oh my God. We'll get into that.
Mhm.
Former House Speaker McCarthy getting some time to speak yesterday. Just wait till you hear what he says about the Republican Party. Then you had Mike Johnson yesterday getting, I guess it passed overwhelmingly. They've got some aid going to Ukraine and Israel, but they took out all of the conservative social things like abortion and paying for abortion. Taxpayer funded abortions are allowed. I mean, it's very interesting to see what's happening. There's still hostages over in the Gaza area. Yeah, can't forget about them. And then we'll talk about In-N-Out Burger. And
Watch your
Eric,
mouth.
I know.
Yeah.
How long would you wait in line for your best restaurant, your best food? Let us know. We don't care where it is, anywhere around the country. We're going to get into it because
Not at all.
people did some crazy, crazy shit
Yeah.
with that.
No,
I'm not waiting 8 hours for anything.
no,
Me either.
no. I'll come back. Like last night, I went to Chicken and Pickle.
Oh, you did? How was
Do you know
that?
what the chicken and pickle is?
We had the chicken and pickle owner in here.
Okay, we had the chicken and
Didn't
I
we?
can't even say it.
Tanner? Is he chicken and pickle?
No, he's not chicken and pickle. He's well, I can see why you. No, he's the chicken.
What are you laughing at me for?
Well, because chicken and pickle sounds like that could be Tanner's restaurant because he's Two Bros Pizza.
No, but I thought he
feathers.
Oh, chicken feathers.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, well, chicken and pickle. Okay, it's kind of like we went there last night,
Some chickle.
and basically they're selling pickleball, which is America's new sweetheart game
Yes.
that anybody can play.
Yes.
In an atmosphere that is very, I call Gen Z millennial.
Uh-huh.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like the atmosphere. You know, I was actually with a millennial last night, and the millennial said, you know, this is the kind of place you always want to come to a bar, right? You want to go to a bar,
Yeah.
but you don't want to just sit there in a smoky, crappy bar
Right.
where it's too loud looking at someone trying to. These are huge spaces.
Yeah.
They look like a huge backdoor patio. You know,
Mhm.
and they have all the games such as the bags and the pickleball and whatever else you want with overpriced beer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good
And
point.
the food was whatever.
Mhm.
But it's kind of this new way of doing, I guess, bars. It's just these huge landscapes. And I think that it's like the social, what is it? The social house.
Yeah, the Dogwood Social House.
Yeah, that one. And it's kind of like a Westport Social. I think that's kind of the new era of
Yeah, I
what
would
it is, you know? And
Rec Hall. There's another one called Rec Hall.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're very cool spaces. I agree.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that the Gen, I guess, Zs and the millennials can't do that we used to be able to do, like you talked about last week.
Yeah.
Getting in the back of an El Camino going
Yeah.
70 miles an hour. Now you'd go to jail if you did that.
Backwards.
I think there's.
Yeah, backwards.
I slam on the Gen Zs all the time for some of the decisions they make, but I think they're right on this one.
I do too.
I think they
I
don't
do
need
too.
to put up with the gross bars that we dealt with back in the 80s and the 90s. They're building their own thing.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
it's kind of cool, man. And would I wait in line to go to Chicken and Pickle for 4 hours? Hell no.
There's no place I'd wait in line to go 4, 5, 2 hours. Patience level is not there. Dr. Bob Onder jumping in with us right now. We've had him on the show before. We appreciate it. How you doing, my friend? You doing all right? Where are you in a Jeep? Is that a Jeep?
I'm in a Jeep, yes.
I noticed that
been
in 2
all
seconds.
over the state this week, and yes, I'm. You caught me going from point A to point B, and I apologize for that.
All right, Dr.
I
Bob
like it.
Onder,
I like
if
it.
you eat fast food, where are you dropping in at?
Good question.
Oh, me? Oh, probably McDonald's or Chick-fil-A 90% of the time.
What's the meal at McDonald's though? What are you getting? Because I try to act healthy when I go to McDonald's. I'll get a double quarter pounder, and I'll take the bread off. I eat the burger, and then I try to get apple slices. Seriously,
That defeats the point.
I don't do any of that.
Amen.
No, I usually get a chicken sandwich and a cheeseburger.
There you go.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Man.
that's
Yes.
pretty damn good.
And notice those are things on the value menu. You
Yeah,
know,
there
and
you go.
I take the same approach to the budget of the state government too.
Look at you
Out of
tie that
control.
in.
Love it.
That's right. That's right.
Talking with Dr. Bob Onder. You were a Missouri state senator. You're running for lieutenant governor. I'm curious, right out of the gate, you were going to run for St. Charles County executive. You
Yes.
kicked that to the curb, and now you're running for lieutenant governor. Why did you get out of the one race and jump into this one?
Yeah, you know, my wife Allison and I have always said, and this goes back to when I first ran for state rep many years ago. We've always said we'd run if there were a race where we could make a difference. And you know, local and municipal government has really not been my thing. It's very important because in many ways local government affects one's day-to-day lives every bit as much as state or national government. The main thing that made me interested in the county executive position is, I believe, the wrong-headed response to St. Charles County government to COVID, especially kids being subjected to these unnecessary contact quarantines, where if they were within 6 feet of other kids, they would be sent home from school for 2 weeks or 5 days eventually. the deal was that by the time it was really getting ready to start the campaign in earnest in 2022, that issue was pretty much over. Um, in other ways, St. Charles County has, done very well, and we really, with a lot of reflection and thought and prayer, thought, no, that's probably not the race where in the position where I could make the most difference. So we said, you know what, we'll in the 2022 cycle, we would support other good people. I was instrumental in electing five different senators, more conservative senators over more squishy rhino opponents. So I think we made a big difference that cycle. Afterwards, I've been very involved in pushing back against the transgender grooming and mutilation of our kids, and that culminated in passing the Save Women's Sports Act and the SAFE Act this last session. So we've been active, but in 2022 we took a break from the election cycle.
Yeah. One of the biggest deals in Missouri right now, and I didn't even understand that it was a big deal, is all this immigration stuff. And I knew it was going to become a problem when you have millions of people coming over the border. My big issue with Missouri right now is we have to be firm, it seems like, with immigration policy, where you put these people,
Absolutely.
how transparent you are with these people, letting the public know where these people are, what kind of gangs they came from, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I mean, I think like you said, St. Charles is kind of taking care of itself, but recently they've even been a little bit squishy on the immigration stuff and letting us know what's going on. What's your policy on that stuff? And where are we at in Missouri as far as kind of fighting back about all the people coming across and being placed in Missouri?
And as you answer that for Eric, what can a lieutenant governor do about that?
Yeah. Well, let me start with what I've done in the past. So when I was in the Missouri House in 2018, I wrote and passed, and Governor Matt Blunt signed into law House Bill 1549. At the time, FAIR called it the strongest law in the country to fight illegal immigration at the state level. It banned sanctuary cities. It ended catch and release for illegal aliens, and it cracked down on public contractors who would use our tax dollars to hire illegal aliens. Several other things as well. But that I have been a hawk on illegal immigration before it was cool. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
talking 2008, 4 years or what, 8 years before Donald Trump's nomination. So what can we do? We can make it absolutely clear that Missouri is not going to aid and abet illegal immigration. And yes, we should have said that in St. Charles County at the county council meeting last week. Governor Mike Parsons should be saying it right now. And if somehow the Biden administration manages to ship in a busload of illegal aliens, well, I'm sorry, but we need to put them on a bus to Delaware and let the illegal aliens hang out at Dr. Jill and Joe's beach house.
It's
So
true.
I agree.
It's true, but the dynamic right now is such that a Tashara Jones and the mayor of Kansas City, they're kind of in that sanctuary city mindset. You can tell
yeah,
some of the things they say, and that
well,
at the state level, we almost have to. I don't understand this. Why can't we just say there are no illegal aliens? We are a closed border, because every time you hear, look, you're not a border state, just Texas and Arizona. Everyone's a border
Eric,
state.
it's Texas is trying to do it right now.
I understand
Governor
that.
Abbott was signing legislation to kick illegals out of his state. It can be done.
Okay, well, we'll see.
well, let me say this: if St. Louis or Kansas City uh, engage in sanctuary city policies, the penalty under the law that I passed in 2008 is loss of all state funding to those cities. And we need to let it be known that we will not be complicit, that we will ship illegal aliens back out of the state, that we will cut off all state funding to sanctuary cities, and the governor St. Charles County, every county that have elected politicians with any brains whatsoever, we have to be 100% supportive of the Attorney General's lawsuit pushing back against the Biden administration.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that anymore. Hey, Dr. Onder, what separates you from the other candidates? Because right now it's a crowded field, and we're going to reach out to them. We'll have Dean Blocker and others come on the show, but not focusing on maybe other people, but you. Why you? I know there's still some time before an election comes up.
Well, there's no question that I am the conservative in this race. And, I mean, again, maybe the term rhino gets overused, but I am the conservative in this race. And too many times my opponents have been on the wrong side of a whole bunch of issues. I was this week in Jefferson City, I was awarded the exclusive endorsement of Missouri Right to Life. Because I have consistently stood for life. I was the principal author of both the 2017 and then the 2019 pro-life heartbeat bills. I fought to defund.
Did we just lose?
And there's
Dr.
Dr. Bob Onder.
Oh, he was getting to the good stuff.
Yeah, he was getting into the meat of. There he is. There he is.
Keep on going, Doc. And it may come back. And technical things happen when you're in a Jeep driving around the state of Missouri. Yeah. That's what happens, Dr. Bob Onder, moving forward, talking about some of those things. If we get him back, we'll do that. He was talking about in regards to his opportunity to talk about why him and the others, because it's a crowded field for lieutenant governor.
It is because who all? I mean, there's
Dean Blocker,
Paul
Berry,
and that lady. Is it Crystal? Is her name Crystal?
No, Crystal Quaid's running for governor. Tracy. Oh, forgive me. I think we got Bob back again. Here.
Hey, I'm back.
There you go. Glad you're here.
I'm sorry. I had an incoming call and it cut you guys out.
It was the governor saying, "Shut up."
Yeah.
Parsley going, "Hey, stop." No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Look, in other contrast with my opponents, I have fought for fiscal responsibility. My opponents have voted for the most bloated budget in Missouri history. Our budget has doubled in the last 5 years alone. My opponents have voted for Obamacare Medicaid expansion, Biden care Medicaid expansion, increasing food stamps, increasing TANF welfare checks. One of my opponents even voted to allow food stamps to be used for fast food and Uber Eats and DoorDash. I mean, the contrast couldn't be clearer. One of my opponents was the primary author of the bill to put your prescription medications into a government database and wants to give free needles to junkies. I don't think these things are the role of government. I'm a small government conservative. They're big government liberals in many cases. So it couldn't be clearer.
Yeah.
Look, it is a crowded field. There are some others running who haven't held public office before. But I think my main opponents are the current Speaker of the House, who's bogged down in 4 or 5 ethical problems, any one of which she probably ought to resign over. And then I basically have a social work liberal Republican from Southeast Missouri as my other main opponent. So it couldn't be clearer. I think as we get our message out to the voters around Missouri, when I got elected to the Missouri Senate, I got 62% in a 3-way race. That's what I'm going for this election too.
Yeah, and you have name recognition out the wazoo,
yeah,
so that helps a lot. Here's one thing
with 4 people in a race, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Here's one thing I'm super concerned about, because I think everybody in the studio is like, right to life is probably the way to go. It's probably it's the righteous way. It's the moral way, but it loses elections. I'm sorry. For some reason, you can be right on every single issue: crime, the border, finances, blah, 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 blah. Then you get to that little abortion thing, and the suburban wife, the woman that would have voted for you before, is like, "I'm out. I'm done."
And that's sad.
Do you have a policy or a strategy to combat that, or is it just is the right to life, the abortion bills, is it just full steam ahead for people on the right, on the far right?
Well, Missouri became the first state in the union to fully protect innocent human life with the heartbeat bill. And it's very important, though. I think you're right. John Wilkie, the founder of National Right to Life, used to always say, "Why can't we love them both?" In other words, yes, we care for, we love the unborn child, but we also care for the woman with the distressed pregnancy. And we've done that. We did that in the 2019 bill. We also dramatically enhanced pregnancy care center tax credits, and organizations like Thrive, Our Ladies In, Birthright, and so on have just done incredible work in supporting women in unplanned pregnancies and other distressed pregnancy situations. Um, I don't know that I agree that the pro-life issue loses elections. I mean, one example, of course, is Virginia. Virginia, it's sad to say, it's not a red southern state anymore. Northern Virginia has basically become a suburb of Washington, D.C. And unfortunately, we would have liked to have think otherwise, but I really think it was Glenn Youngkin's election to governor that was kind of the outlier, whereas the long-term trend is that Virginia has become more and more blue. And that's true, unfortunately, in our suburbs around the country. And this was before this long predated Dobbs. So, but you're right. We do need to do a lot of education. We've had some big legislative victories, but in some ways, our culture has moved the other way.
I will say this, and I'll just throw this out there. I don't think it should be to the government to bring the abortion rate down. I think it should be advertising. Remember if you remember the advertising campaign, this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something similar to that. This is your baby, and this is your baby being aborted. I mean, I know that sounds disgusting and horrible, but at some point, the truth about what abortion really is needs to come out. And not the talking points that politicians put out there.
Yes, I agree, because Dr. Onder and anyone that is very, very pro-life, I myself am, but there are people that aren't. And I do agree with you, Eric, that there are elections being lost by that. And I think that's sad because the way we need to get it out is marketing, is showing what it is out on the mass media.
Yep.
But they won't put it out there.
Yeah.
I've got something better. Well, go ahead, doctor. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. There are organizations, of course, that are their mission is communication with the public in an effort to change the hearts and minds. Carl Landwehr's organization has done great work in that area. But you're right. I think one thing that brought many of us to the pro-life camp years ago and brought Bernard Nathanson, who ran the biggest abortion clinic in the free world, to the pro-life cause is the reality of what abortion is. I hate to say it, but seeing those pictures, it's sort of like talking about the Holocaust. It's easy for people to just deny the Holocaust, but when you see pictures, you say, "Oh, that's what we're really talking about." Okay, I'm against that.
Yeah.
And but you're right. Try to get the pictures onto major TV networks or onto billboards.
It won't happen. And Democrats are stopping Republicans from putting them in clinics just to give a woman a final chance to make sure that she knows exactly what she's doing and what will happen after she does it. And then they try to say, well, you're just going to hurt a woman who's already hurt. I mean, you can't have anything in life without truth. Truth has to be first, then everything else happens after that. If you don't have truth, it's a screwed up situation from the get-go. Can't hide truth for what it is. I'm curious, before we let you go, who do you think's more popular, you or your brother Jim, throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area? Because I mean, people know you, but Jim is on. I mean, his advertising budget is insane. Lizzie gets in her car and she hears, "Get Jim." .com.
I heard it on the way to on the way here today.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and it comes up on my car. Like you turn it on and the computer screen has JimOnder.com.
Do you get tired of hearing your brother all over the place?
yeah, sometimes. I think if you're asking who has higher name ID in the St. Louis metro area, Jim or me, I think it's Jim hands down.
Did you go to the Christmas party last night?
He had a massive. It was.
Did you go
packed.
I know it's the St. Louis is who's who every year.
I mean, and people are posting videos. My God, he invites literally for our viewers around the country who don't know, people in St. Louis know, he invites everybody.
If you're his
Everybody's invited.
Yes, if you're his Facebook friend, you're invited.
Did you go last night, Bob?
I did.
Okay. And it was
a
insane.
Great party. I got to catch up with a lot of old legislative colleagues, and obviously it's pretty heavily weighted toward lawyers, but folks from all the walks of life were there. It's always pretty wild. It's gotten bigger and bigger over the years, for sure.
Is he reaching six figures with that party?
Yes.
I think I don't. He hasn't shared his budget with me. But
He's putting out. It's an over six-figure party.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Dr. Onder, I would love to have met your parents because you and Jim both are just really badasses in different ways. Different ways. I mean, you're like the right to life, the conservative, save St. Charles County, now save the state. He's an attorney that's on every Cadillac when you turn it on. I would have loved to have met your parents because they raised people that are very unafraid.
Well, my parents are still alive. God bless them.
Nice.
They're getting up there in the years. They 3 years ago, my dad was still shoveling his driveway and cutting grass at age like 87, 88. So no, my parents and we have a sister, Sandy, who is an internal medicine doctor up in Wisconsin.
Damn!
Wow, see, your parents raised you guys right.
Yeah, they are. We're really, my parents were great folks. They really, they brought us to church. They really valued education. It's funny. My mom would do kind of some homeschooling with us over the summer because otherwise she thought we'd forget everything we had learned during the school year.
It's true. It's
that's
a good
awesome.
point.
Well, it clearly worked. I love that your brother supports you from a political standpoint, including financially. I don't know all of his political ideals. He is a personal injury attorney. Most of the personal injury attorneys I know are more leaning left. However, he seems to support you. I'm not going to ask you to give all of his political opinions, but it does seem like he supports you, which is really cool being a brother.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is cool. Jim and I have both been, very blessed with, professional success. Jim probably supports folks of different, political persuasions.
He hangs out with my liberal lawyer friends.
Yeah, similar to the way. Well, think about Donald Trump when he was a developer of real estate in New York City. You've got to get along with everybody. I'll just say that. But he has been. He's a great brother. He's supported me in a number of things I've done, and over the years, I was able to help him, especially in his early career when he was, trying to learn how to navigate that intersection between law and medicine. So,
well, we appreciate it. Dr. Bob Onder, we wish you the best of luck. What is a website, or do you have a campaign website that people can go check out?
Yeah, my campaign website is Bob Onder Mo, and on Twitter and Facebook, Bob Onder Mo.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. Go get your McDonald's. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Dr.
You know
Onder.
you love coming on.
He's going to Ruth's Chris.
I love Dr. Onder. He's the best. He's absolutely the best.
Happy Friday, big man.
I'm going into my medical office.
Love it. Love it.
See you guys.
See you, buddy. All right.
Well, and there's several people on our chat lines, on all the various lines, that they go to Dr. Onder's, as their allergist.
Allergist.
Yeah.
Man, well, this is the time of the year for that, isn't it? Jeez.
Yeah,
damn, I wonder what those family get-togethers are like. That's for sure.
Come on.
I would.
You know what they're like.
I know.
I mean, literally, for our listeners around the country, Jim Onder is one of the country's most popular or personal injury attorneys.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
and the campaign money. Why we don't have any yet, I don't know. I did reach out to him. We'll figure that out.
We need to get some from Jim Onder. For sure.
Onder.
I told him about this show.
Yeah.
Jim, I don't know, about a year ago, we were at Napoli.
Yeah.
No Napoli jokes. I just happened to be meeting a friend of mine.
There you go. I would never do that.
And he goes, cancel this.
Yeah.
And then he just
and then you grabbed your nuts. And you say, cancel this.
Yeah.
these nuts.
So no, I think the thing about all of the law firms in St. Louis have something different.
Yeah.
Like our friend Brown and Brown, they have
Brown
kind
and
of the whole commercial. They look like they're on film, and he goes out and he does this little reviews of his sandwiches and whatnot. Then there's the other guy. Who's the one that lost the brother that
Wasn't that Brown and Brown?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Brown and Brown. One had
Brown
an
and
eye
Crouppen.
patch.
Brown and Crouppen. Yeah, that's right. Then the Onder law firm is all about this Christmas party that happened last night.
Get Jim.
And it's massive.
Yeah.
It started off in their.
Hey, if anybody wants to go next year, it's at the Ritz.
Yeah, anybody can go. So anyone can go. Like if
you
got
to dress up. You got to dress
nice.
Yeah.
Or you'll look terrible.
Yeah, I think last year Nelly showed up. I mean, everybody shows up.
Yeah.
Nelly shows up everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, this is cancelthisshow.com. It's a free-for-all Friday. We're having some fun in the midst of talking about some politics. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Pro Joe in the house as well. We'll have those other candidates on. We'll have Dean Plocker on next week too. I was at the St. Louis County Police Association holiday party last night and talked to Jane Duker last night.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a Twitter war with some Hamas supporters in St. Louis City.
Serious?
No.
She's getting death threats. If you post anything that remotely protects Israel or this country that supports Israel, it's insane. Unfortunately, the mayor of St. Louis, one of her friends, is a woman that is a pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian supporter. So anyway, it was clear. The one reason I brought this whole thing up is I was talking to, there are a lot of judges there. So McCullough was there last night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see Bob McCullough. I hadn't seen him out in a while. Is talking to police and people who are working with the police association. We only hear about St. Louis, and there are 300 or so positions that are still open.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They have about 150 open positions in St. Louis County.
That's crazy. Yeah, St. Louis County too.
You don't hear about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, morale is terrible because we can't get people that want to do this job anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think even in St. Charles County, every single jurisdiction is low too, except for Lake St. Louis. They're
part
full.
of the pay in the old days for being a cop or a firefighter was the prestige of being said cop and firefighter. I don't do this for the money. I do this for my community and because it's important. I've always wanted to be a cop when I was a kid. Here's what they don't understand. This defund the policing, we don't respect you, we want you out of our lives. It's going to cost you now more money to hire a cop. Instead of it being $45,000 a year, now it's going to be $80,000 a year because the guy doesn't want to do it. It's supply and demand. Idiots.
But you've got to come up with budgets now. And where do you pull money out of the hat? You've got to increase taxes. That's the only way to do it.
They can't increase taxes because the tax base is falling.
Unless you get donation and private companies that are paying money. And then there's three things that have happened. They're overworked, they're undervalued, which is underrespected, and most importantly, they are underpaid.
Yes.
And none of those three things, I mean, you can try to show more respect, but the other two, it's scary. And what concerned me about what I heard was that I was hoping things had gotten better and they haven't. In St. Louis. And this is all around the country. This isn't just in St. Louis. It doesn't matter where you might be listening. But when I heard that, it frustrated the hell out of me. And the other thing about it, the show of all the judges who were there in St. Louis County, that gave me hope that they get it.
Yeah.
That the judges get it. They're there. Attorneys are there trying to support St. Louis County Police. But for whatever reason, you can't get Sam Page wasn't there.
Of
course not. Why would he be there? Come on.
Yeah.
He showed his
he's the
stripes.
St. Louis County executive, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That the executive needs to be there.
Of course.
Even if he's not invited.
Right. He should have been
which was a bad sign.
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is. Just wanted to. Jeff Rorta was there. He's the guy. And I said, Jeff, because for those people who don't remember, Jeff was the head of the St. Louis City Police
Yeah,
Association, the
good
business
guy.
manager. And he for years said Kim Gardner needs to be gone.
Yes.
Kim Gardner is killing this city. He eventually got removed from the position because he was so adamant about it. And then what happens as soon as he leaves from that position? Kim Gardner gets run out of town. So I said, Jeff, I was like, I got to bring it up because I haven't seen you in person in a while. I was like, how good does it feel to know that Kim Gardner's gone? He's like, it is awesome. It's sweeter every day.
Yes.
He's like, you better. He's like, because I know St. Louis is in a better spot when she's not around. And Gabe Gore is doing the best that he can to do this. However, I heard from somebody last night within a state senator's campaign that Kim Gardner has put the word out to try to run again.
Oh,
run for what?
No.
The same position.
That is ridiculous.
You gotta be kidding. That's a joke, right?
I heard it, and I said, am I allowed to say that? And they're like, sure, why not? Because the word's out there.
I could believe that because those dingbats that voted her in the last time would probably vote her in again. I mean, that is ridiculous.
I don't know about that.
I do. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I have this.
Gabe Gore is kicking ass in St. Louis City right now. And by the way, he has the support of businesses who will support to that campaign massively. I was told
That's breaking news-ish.
But
Yeah,
I was
that
also
is.
told that she only has about $40,000 in her campaign coffer right now, which isn't much, and that Gabe would get like 10,000 or 10 times that.
Yeah.
To make sure that he isn't going anywhere, because businesses, as much as St. Louis can suck, businesses like the direction they're headed.
Yeah. It is a good direction.
Yeah.
Because
now.
it was so bad.
Well, you know, the AG's office, we had the AG on yesterday, and their prosecutors are now helping Gabe Gore in the city because they don't have enough help. So the hierarchy is helping them now.
I'm fantastic. I'm happy about all this. I do think that the new attorney
You're
general.
happy about Gabe Gore.
I am, but it's like if St. Louis City was an engine, this is a rusted, dilapidated block with crappy spark plugs, and the cables are all cracked and everything, and they just happen to replace the carburetor. Fantastic. You got a lot more work till this engine is put back together. You need judges that are going to keep these criminals in jail. You need a bail structure that's going to keep these criminals in jail. You need detectives, Vic, that will go after people that they see on camera smashing and grabbing in stores. You need detectives who are not afraid to say, give me the information and we're going to find these bastards.
Yeah.
And once we find them, we're putting their asses in jail. Put the word on the street. I don't care what gang you're from. I don't care what house you're from. You're going to jail. If that was the case, within 2 to 3 years, St. Louis would at least, it wouldn't be good, but it would be cleaned up-ish.
Well, Glenn Thompson asked us,
I do not want to run for mayor of this city, by the way.
Didn't Andrew Bailey pass a law prohibiting Gardner from running again? No, he didn't.
No.
He just said that what they would do, they would go after her if she did try, in regards to the court of law, because there were some outstanding things that were still going on. I think that lawsuit is still there, as a matter of fact. I'm trying to remember. We had Andrew Bailey on yesterday. We appreciate him coming on. He was fantastic. Grateful to have Bailey on. But anyway, had to get that stuff.
Well, Joe on the chat line is saying Kim Gardner still has an open campaign filing with the state of Missouri. And the part of it is KMOV reported it about a week ago.
Yeah. I don't think that this circuit attorney wants the job very long. And from what I understand, he was placed there. Right. He has a very prominent defense business that he used to have, right?
But he's running again. He is going to
Well, then he
again.
does want the job.
No, here's the thing.
He lost money to do it.
I don't know who would want that job, but I think he feels a cause to do it.
Okay.
Good. I hope that's true. Because he really is trying to do a good job.
But it's a sign of all the bullshit that's happened in this country from a criminal standpoint that could have been stopped.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't one of those things that we couldn't stop. It could have been stopped, and we chose not to stop.
I think it's amazing that if you don't have a good judicial system in your backyard on a major city, sports teams will leave.
Yes.
Did you hear what happened in Washington, D.C.?
No, what happened?
The Capitals and the Senators, I think, moved out of Washington, D.C. across into Virginia. And they're going to, they took the franchises and said, we're not safe here anymore. Yeah. We're leaving.
Well,
remember when we talked about that?
They're talking about it in Chicago, too.
And in Kansas City, too. The Royals are leaving to go
but that's not about a safety
maybe
issue.
Not.
No, the Kansas City issue isn't.
Take care of
the DC one is, the Chicago one is. We'll see about St. Louis down the road. But besides, unless the Cardinals start sending some real people, nobody's going to be watching those.
But it's a thing. Could you see a DeWitt and those guys leaving St. Louis?
It would have to get a whole lot worse.
No, I take it back.
Now.
Let me take it back. Let me digress.
Because there's some momentum downtown right now because of soccer. I'm just telling you, there is.
But the people that come to see soccer games are getting shot at in their hotel room.
Not.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
they are.
Yes, they are.
Eric, it happened once.
Oh well, once.
Okay, if it's been reported
Stray bullets are fine.
Oh my Lord!
If it happened once, it was reported it happened more.
You can tell you're from St. Louis when you have that attitude.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, it just happened once.
I can totally.
Now, if I woke up in the morning to a gunshot coming through the window and there's a hole in the wall, I'm scared shitless. I get it.
I could see. This is just me putting on my tinfoil hat. I could see the Cardinals moving out to Earth City or out to Fenton
or Maryland Heights.
Because everybody's going that way anyway.
Yeah.
Not for over 2 decades.
Okay.
Too much investment downtown.
Back to the show.
Too much investment.
I'm telling you, man. There's all kinds of teams leaving. Oakland lost all of their teams.
But it wasn't because...
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't because of safety.
It's because of crime.
No, because
they suck.
Because they suck. They were a small market team.
I hope
the Raiders were a small market team.
The Oakland A's were a small market team. Yes, they had a small budget. They had
the home of the Bash
Did
Brothers?
You not
Come
see
on,
the
man.
movie Moneyball?
I did.
With Brett.
It's Oakland.
They had the smallest budget because people weren't going to games. They didn't have.
They had a crappy stadium.
Following.
They had a crappy stadium. Didn't they win a World Series? They had McGuire and Canseco. Come on, man. They had some stuff up there. They lost. They didn't have to lose that team, by the way.
Yeah.
And St. Louis didn't have to lose the Rams either. It's bad management.
I hated that.
I just forgot. We lost a couple of teams too. Now that I think about it, thank you.
That made me sad when the Rams left.
Yeah, Bidwell left, and so did Gronky.
Gronky. I like that. That's awesome.
There's a special place for Gronky.
Gronky.
Back
Gronky. What the hell are you doing?
Anything going on with COVID today? Let's go.
Back to COVID. Were you saying that? Hey, by the way, real quick, thanks again for the partners that we have on the show. Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley, leading supplier in traditional infrared saunas, and the hot tubs. It's not only a luxury item anymore. I mean, you're helping your heart health, life expectancy, the blood flow. All the studies are there now. Doctors are recommending them. If you can do it, check out Amini's. Also, experienced real estate partners, of course, Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick with Experience Realty and New American Funding by Score Mortgage, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. And by the way, if you're not following them yet, they've got some really good stuff kicking on this new channel that they've done. It's called Unrestricted. Some really good content as they branch off into this arena of producing content from a husband-wife entrepreneurial standpoint and moving on into inspiration and how to make money in business. Of course, Route 66 Cannabis, 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the newest location in De Pere, 270 in Manchester. And of course, Ostara product line. That's in stores all over the state. Hamra has a lot of things kicking with that. Of course, Solar City, STL, Justin Talavist and crew. Give them a call. Let them know. Find out if a quote makes sense for you. If you're using enough electricity, it would be advantageous. Get off the grid. You don't have to rely on what's happening. You don't have to worry about what's happening in the future. Give them a call. Guess what? Quotes are free. Strategic Air Services, the premier private transportation providers in all things aviation, from aircraft management to concierge services and acquisition. And that's where we broadcast live out of here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. Of course, WeQuip, we talked about it already today, a peer-to-peer, person-to-person rental marketplace. Literally, check out the site, wequipusa.com. You can rent items, or you can put items out there to have people rent them as well. Maybe make some money on the side. Real fun site. And of course, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, and smoked meat you're going to find. Entertainment on the weekends, Friday and Saturday. And of course, when it's warmer outside, they have entertainment on Sundays. And of course, a massive heated patio as well. Okay, cancel this, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Pro Joe in the house as well, making sure we look and sound as good as we can. It is Friday, December 15th. It is a Free-for-all Friday. Lots of topics that we were getting into today. Love it when you guys jump in. We had to get into this, and we'll have some fun, but this blew my mind when it comes to Christmas. Not my idea of Christmas at the White House. Maybe not your idea, or maybe it is. This is not Christmas, but this is what happens when the Bidens take over, or Biden, or Obama. And this is when you know that evil has penetrated the White House. 100%. And you can say, Vic, oh, you're crazy. You've lost your mind, whatever. No, I have not lost my mind. This is not right. This is not Christmas. This is not about Jesus's birth. This is not about anything from a traditional standpoint. When you think of faith, when you think of family, when you think of what the holiday is and should be, this looks like a drag show.
The video starts out looking like a Looney Tunes, like the way that it pans out with the circle, the iris, or
yes.
whatever.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I mean,
it really does. That is a great way. It looked to me like a very gauche clown show. I mean, it was terrible.
It reminds me of Cirque du Soleil, and I love. I used to go to the Cirque du Soleil shows in Detroit every year. Loved it. But that's not Christmas, not by any means at all. So check out the video. Here is your Christmas at the White House under the Bidens. It's Christmas at the White House. Let's show you a comparison of that with what Christmas at the White House was with Donald Trump, and then we can get our thoughts in here.
There is absolutely no comparison. And when Melania did that, she was called a racist because they called it a white-only Christmas.
What?
I mean, and yet you see this Joe Biden stuff, and it really does look like a gauche clown show.
Once again, it looks like a circus. It looks like Cirque du Soleil. This is not Christmas. This is something born out of, I'll say it, evil. Yes. It has nothing to do with celebrating the birth of Jesus. Not even close.
No. And Melania's had, a nativity scene in her house, several nativity scenes. There's nothing Christmas. And that gal right there with the blue dress with the mouth, what in the world is that? That reminded me of Hillary Clinton when she was looking up at the campaign and all the confetti was going.
The balloons.
Yeah, the balloons. Yes. So what's up with their mouth?
Mary says classless and no taste from Jill. And when is the clown in chief coming out? I mean, we all know that DC is messed up. We know the White House is messed up. We know it's the worst administration, and every official that's been hired to be in the cabinet, arguably the worst that they've ever had. And
if that doesn't prove to you, Rick, that this is being run from someone else.
Hell yes, it is.
Because Joe Biden, no matter how much we slam and cap on him, the holiday celebration, the stuff that you just saw with Melania of her taking you around to, very beautiful, everything, it always looks like Macy's inside of there. It always looks nice. You either put the red bows on or the green bows on, but it's traditional. There's something beautiful about conservative Christmases. Yes. That's why, we conservatives have the right to have that.
Yes.
And when they poke fun at the conservative nature and bring the transgender, and there's no place for that there. Okay.
No, of course there's not.
And here's
Chris calls it a pedo fantasy.
This is why the White House is not being run by Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, I'm sure, had traditional Christmases, because he's a family guy, remember, traditional Christmases that were far more reflective of what Melania was doing, and not this sideshow that you would see at Mardi Gras down in St. Louis.
It reminded me of the St. Louis Mayor's Ball.
It
Mardi
did,
Gras.
exactly. What it reminded me.
Bad rendition we heard of the Nutcracker. And when did a pig's head ever represent Christmas?
It never did.
Pig's heads like are horror flicks.
Yeah. Well, and that's a demonic thing.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some satanic things behind
there's satanic
pigs
innuendos going on 100%. Absolutely.
And that's what I was, when you look at the blocks with all the numbers and everything, it makes me wonder if there was like some cryptic message with numbers and symbols in that last scene.
I'm sure you're right.
Here's the thing is, even people who are art, because that was artsy. Mm-hmm. It was fartsy kind of crap.
Jazzy, artsy,
it was something you might see in Seattle, and that's fine. There's a place for that. On a Thursday night, you're at the Dublin or shooting pool.
And you're artsy because you're a musician. So I love to get your take.
I like artsy-fartsy stuff. I do. I'm sorry, I do. But I also like tradition, and I like thinking about the holiday season as something that might represent the 1800s, the 1700s, coming up through now, and not completely eschewing it to be something that far. It's just not the season anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Does that make me sound prude? Probably it does, but it doesn't represent the majority of the American population.
Correct.
You're our we're your boss.
Yeah.
You do what we want.
Yeah.
You're not going to get reelected if you don't. So it's creepy. What can I say?
The whole thing
know?
was creepy. And I don't know why when I watched it that I was like, my skin started to crawl. And I'm still not sure why that surprises me, because I'm sure Obama is behind this. And this is what he's pushing all the way through.
or the millennial Gen Z people who are actually running the White House.
Good. Yep. That was a good
great
point.
Paul says, guys, remember the White House is the people's house.
It is.
Yes.
And I think that
it should be the people's house.
That's the problem with liberalism, is I think they think that people are on their side, and they're just not.
Right. Good. Yeah.
You know, remember there was a long time ago, I'm like, here's the deal with conservatives and liberals. There's a word called wholesome. Is it wholesome? Are you feeding the country real milk, or are you feeding the country, Red Bulls? And I think that the nature of the human experience is we want wholesome things. We want to be healthy. We want to be together as much as we can during this season, during Christmas season.
Yeah.
During 4th of July, go nuts. During Halloween, go nuts.
Right.
But this is supposed to be something where it's silent night, baby in a manger.
This is done on purpose to attack Jesus, to attack Christians, to attack the faith.
Yes.
This is good versus evil stuff. And I'm not going overboard by saying that.
Oh, you're right on. This is good versus evil.
I think Terry in the chat is onto something here. I think it's just like a woke version of the Nutcracker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I just said that a little bit ago.
No, you're right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
It's a bad, evil version of the Nutcracker.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very evil. And like Terry,
with pig heads.
And this is a cat. This is an old, demented cat that's running for president again. And he's about to get on his horse and say, American people, I need your vote. And this is what you're leaving them with at the end of the year, right before you're getting ready to go hide in your basement for another 8 months and get voted out of office. You're going to lead with this thing that people are going to go, man, that was creepy and I didn't dig it. You know, there was nothing that brings Midwestern families towards that. And that's who he needs to win the White House.
Correct.
So whoever's doing his PR and his strategy, you're a moron.
Yeah.
You're an absolute moron. I get it. You want to be liberal, over the top. But man, this isn't the time. This is not the time for that.
I was surprised to see a Christmas tree. Like, you didn't really see a Christmas tree until towards the end.
Yeah, but you had to have those in there. Those are...
I know. But I'm waiting for the day that those are not going to be,
Well, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Can we see it one more time? Can I see it one more time?
Well, you can see all the protests of all the Christmas tree lightings and stuff, the pro-Hamas
Well,
stuff,
no, they're just going where people are. The deal.
I know. I'm just saying that eventually the Christmas tree is going to be a thing of the past.
Maybe, but the Christmas tree also takes attention away from the birth of Jesus in some cases.
Because some people believe the Christmas tree is paid.
Is bingo. That's why I don't think you'll ever see the tree go at least from that standpoint. But you never know, Joe. I mean, who knows?
And
if it represents nostalgia, then of course people will there's a chance those trees could be taken away.
Yeah. Well, and like Mary's saying, they can stop calling it a Christmas tree and they can just call it a holiday tree.
Yeah. We had to get that in there though. Anyway, you do Christmas, you be you do you, call the crap out when you see it and just try to have your Christmas merry spirit. I was glad to hear people saying Merry Christmas last night.
Yeah,
had a guy come, all right, it's December 15th. He's like, Merry Christmas. And I'm like, did you just say Merry Christmas? He's like, yeah.
Yes.
And he was a judge in St. Louis County. And I'm like, Merry Christmas to you. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to say it.
Correct.
Okay. I have a lot of opinions about it, but it would be nice as if a country we came together and we went back to that wholesome under the tree kind of Miracle on 42nd Street kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And just that's, what, we can have the fights all year long, but let's just come together at the end of the year, guys.
Right.
We need more Home Alone movies and 80s Christmas movies.
You think that's a joke.
We do.
You think that's a joke. That is for real.
No,
We definitely need that stuff.
Hell yeah,
The
we do.
40s, movies of the 40s.
I brought up the other day. I was like,
the Peanuts holidays. They weren't even going to do the Peanuts Christmas.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, it was going to be taken away.
That CBS was like, we don't want to do it.
we
And when
talked
they
about
did
that.
it, the next day they found out it was one of the largest audiences that they ever had.
I cannot wait for a woke version of Home Alone where little Kevin McAllister's a little trans kid.
Oh, well, I think it's coming.
I think it is too.
Yeah, I think it's coming because they're taking Disney.
No,
movies
I
and
think
doing
that Disney learned its lesson.
I hope
Well,
so.
you
I
know,
hope
it's-
so.
here's
They
what's-
said they were like, "Here, let's take all this moldy asparagus and shove it down
Well,
everyone's throats," and they were sick of losing money.
You know, Netflix has just taken over Disney X though for the first time ever. That's another. It's
Oh.
another basement that Disney has hit. Netflix is now taken, and they were dominant. Nobody ever would have thought that Netflix could go over Disney and Disney X.
Oh, I did.
And Netflix has done that now.
I did. When I heard that Disney was trying to get into the streaming game,
yeah, but
but with their
what killed them was their woke.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the billions of dollars that they've lost, not hundreds of millions. They've
Yeah.
lost billions.
Yeah.
They've lost billions.
See, Disney did it
And
like
then it doesn't help when Elon Musk is calling out Bob Iger because of what Bob Iger tried to do to him because he wants free speech.
Yeah. What Disney did is doing to itself what Anheuser-Busch or Bud Light did really quick. They are showing that people are finally especially that new Avengers movie with the one with the 3 girls that bombed so bad. They're trying to shove moldy asparagus down your throat and say, "Oh my God, this is the next best thing to a Ruth's Chris steak,"
Mhm.
and it's no one's buying it. I'm sorry, just people don't want to see that. They like the wholesome Toy Story.
Yeah.
Give them the damn Toy Story.
Mhm.
They like
Mhm.
the wholesomeness of Home Alone. Why doesn't some studio just make a Home Alone again? No transgender people, planes, trains, and automobiles.
You can't.
Come on,
you
man.
can't redo stuff like that.
No,
though.
no, I'm
I
not
mean,
saying redo it. I'm
yeah.
saying
you're talking
inside.
about like an
I'm
equivalent.
talking about inside of that parameter, something that's
Gotcha.
wholesome. It's already
Wait a
written.
minute, a new Christmas movie, you mean?
There you go.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many good
There
ones
you
that
go.
they've been playing. And you see the networks, they are craving for Christmas spirit. They're playing these Christmas movies every night right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I'm not
every
talking
night.
rom-coms that you put on the Hallmark Channel either.
No.
I'm talking about a well-written comedy movie
There
like
needs to be a new one.
The Elf.
Yeah.
The Elf.
There's no redoing Elf.
Elf.
Yeah, you can't
Dude,
redo
give me
these.
something else. Come on, guys.
They
Yeah.
tried to do that. I think I was talking about this earlier. I thought it was one of the most underrated Christmas movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought up this week, Christmas with the Cranks.
You were watching it while we were doing the Anthony Rogers show. We're
Yeah.
actually doing the show, and he's got Christmas with the Cranks.
Because
So-
I love Christmas with the Cranks. And I think they might have tried to do that a second time, and it was a
Yeah.
total bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tim Allen was amazing.
Yes. And he's canceled.
And Tim Allen
Yeah.
was also Santa
Yes.
and Santa 2.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking about that the other
But Will
day.
Ferrell could probably pull off an Elf 2 somehow, some way, because every scene in that movie is funny.
Yes. But
Yeah,
but
it is.
but if you came out as a transgendered elf, I don't think it would go over so
no,
well.
of course not.
No, not
No.
see, not that's the problem. It's not, of course not. It's like run it out there and see how many tickets you sell.
Mhm.
None? Ah, that sucks to be you.
Yeah.
These studios are going to get sick and tired of losing money. They tried to flip the country
Mhm.
to be this uber liberal woke thing.
See, Joe and I debate this a lot.
Go ahead. Do it on
Joe's
there.
like, they've got plenty of money. And I'm like, man, they're feeling it.
No, they don't.
And I don't think
You
they
lose-
do.
So here's.
But
it's
Joe
not
brings
that-
up a good point.
It's not that they have plenty of money. What is that? ESG scores. They're getting kickbacks from the deep state because
Not that much.
I can guarantee you they're
No.
getting vouchers. They're getting something in return for all of this because they can't just be tanking their business for
On
nothing at
purpose.
all.
ESG doesn't pay your stockholders.
I guarantee it does at some point. Like it's paying off
Not
in some
forever.
way, shape, or
The
form.
Not
stockholders,
forever.
The stockholders have to get money at some point, or they're all going to pull out.
Well, I think to Joe's point, I think for a while that was right, but they will eventually, the government doesn't stick with anything for too long. So they'll keep throwing you money for ESG scores until they're on to something
There's a
else.
bailout or something.
That is
somewhere.
a good job for. We need to get Elliot Davis on this because seriously, we need to understand how ESG actually works. We get it.
I don't think Elliot knows.
Well, he would find out. Trust me.
No, he wouldn't.
He would nail this thing.
And I love
Unless unless it's on the script.
Come on,
Elliot, you do this. You walk across the street. You walk up to the door and you ask the same question 20 times.
Yeah.
And the first time that they show frustration because you've asked the same question 20 times, you give that to the editor, and then the editor will make you look good and make sure you're in every shot.
And Iger, he can follow Iger around.
Right.
We'll send him to Florida. But no, I think that I to your point, you can't lose $500 million that you've invested in a movie and not get it back. And not hope that you get it on streaming.
They're getting it back somewhere.
They're not.
I don't know.
They're not. They're not.
Why would they keep doing it then? I mean, it's like they're stubbing their toe repeatedly.
Well, that's because probably millennials are helping run whatever this is. And they do keep stubbing their toe and going, ouch, stub their toe, ouch.
Eric, if you could replay or redo or have a remake or it could be the same movie redone with new actors, whatever, actors, actresses, or do a second movie. What would you choose? Because about 3 weeks ago, Derek was in guest hosting, and they were talking at Lizzie and about favorite Christmas movies.
And the Christmas movie that won for Cancel This was Christmas Vacation. And then the Christmas song that won was Silent Night. So that kind of tells you where our listeners
Christmas Story, I would say.
Yeah, that was up there.
It was
I'd have to say Christmas Story, something like that. That's funny. That has.
Could you redo a Christmas story?
I see that. I don't think that people are smart enough to write those scripts anymore.
Well, you know who would? Angel Studios would. I bet they could.
Maybe give it a shot. No, it doesn't even have to be that. It just needs to be something creative. I mean, I like this one. Donna says, "How about Will Ferrell's Elf, their baby, as they show you at the end of the movie? You know, he had a baby. He got married to the blonde lady. Yeah. They had a baby. The baby's all grown up now.
Yeah. That would be good. That would be really good.
With Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
That baby.
That's a good one.
There we go.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Jump on it, somebody. Let's get this done.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just saying, here's the deal. If you want to make money, go wear the hair that got you there. Like they say, you know, it's like, that's like a saying, wear the hair that got you there. Mm-hmm. If you made a fortune back in the 80s with Home Alones, you don't think people are not going to want to go see another Home Alone or something kind of like that?
Kind of like Dance with the Date You Brung?
It's like, well, I'll give you a perfect example. Iron Man. One of the best Marvel movies ever of all time. It was simple character development, no woke crap in it. It was just a good punch you in the face movie. Marvel has now started that ESG crap, and they are trying to get involved with it.
It bombed.
No one wants to frickin' see it.
I know.
But if you did if Tony Stark came back out with just an Iron Man movie, you would make $1 billion trillion.
I love our viewers. By the way, we were just told, and I did not know this, maybe you guys did, that they did, Hollywood, make a sequel to Christmas Story where Ralphie is an adult now.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
I never saw it.
They did.
Was it good? I'm guessing it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Nobody's heard
I'll tell you what they should do.
You're never going to have anything equivalent to the
Chris
first
said,
one.
by the way, that the first movie was pre-Disney.
Was it pre-Disney?
That's
I guess
why.
it would have been. Yeah.
The thing that really bugs me about the whole Disney thing is because they used to be about tradition and about the family. They used to be about, and then they're completely the opposite now. And I know that this is by design, by breaking up the family.
I agree.
But what's the purpose of that? It just breaks up your money.
Because, it's a woke thing.
But what's the purpose of that? It breaks up your money.
LGBTQ do not believe in tradition or traditional families or the way that things used to be. They want to change everything. They don't want there to even be a speck of remembrance of the family.
Well, and that part is all from, we always talk about these people that we cannot see that want the whole world order, and the best way to break that all up is to wreck the family, wreck the tradition.
And the best way to get to that is to Disney. Disney is what taught us what tradition and family was
There's
about.
a lot of, like, when Fantasia came out, they were like, oh, well, this is the beginning of the end. Remember that?
Yeah, I forgot about
this
that.
is an acid trip from Disney.
Yeah.
But I think if I was right now going to say to any producers, like, look, I got $1 million. What kind of movie should I make? Hands down, the one that I would make would be a movie about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and I'll just tell the story in a different way, because those movies, people look at those movies like they're their new church. They do. Yeah. Like the Mel Gibson movie. I don't remember the names of them. Then there was another one that came out that did really good. And if you invested $1 million in a movie like that, you would make $50 million on that movie. You don't. I think people are. They are just so. If they're sponges right now. Human beings are sponges, and that sponge has been left in the sun too long, and they want water to refill themselves.
Mhm.
And those movies refill themselves. They
Yeah.
don't want the garbage.
No,
They don't.
we saw it with
right
Top,
now,
we
they're
saw it
trying
with
to-
Top Gun.
They're trying to dehydrate us.
Oh, there you go.
Well, Disney is, and we'll see how long they do it for. Seriously, that's what it gets to.
Yeah.
Cancel this, cancel the show.com. Speaking of refilling, we got to get into this stuff because it's a Friday. Oh my God. Would you wait, or how long would you wait? And what places would you go to? And how long would you wait for some of the best food, fast food, restaurants, you name it? Is it Idahoans?
Idahoans. Yes, Idahoans.
Idaho.
Idahoans.
Idahoans? Is that where they? People in Idaho got their first In-N-Out burger and waited.
It's so funny.
And waited.
Yeah.
And waited and waited and waited.
Mm.
8 hours. 8 hours to get
That's
their
nothing.
In-N-Out burger.
That's
Oh.
nothing
Hell
because
to the freaking no would I sit in
No.
line for 8 hours to
No.
get In-N-Out
well,
burger.
Chick-fil-A, when they open a new location, they have people camping out. And because if you're one of the first people to come through, you get a free year of Chick-fil-A.
Okay,
so
I get that.
they camp out overnight just to get in line.
Yeah, they do. But that does make sense because number one, that's God's chicken. And then number two, you get it for a year. Do they get it for a year?
No,
there,
no,
an In-N-Out
no.
burger?
No,
No.
they get a burger that crumbles all over your hands, and you have
I've
to wipe.
never had one of those. Have you guys had an
Yeah,
In-N-Out burger?
in
Is it
LA,
good?
they're all
They're
over
very-
I
the
was
place.
so
I've
I was so
never had
close
one.
to having one, and I never had
I
one.
They're
had-
fantastic.
I
All right,
had-
let's not
I
drop
had
the ball
two
on
of
that.
them
They're
last
great.
February, and they were amazing.
They're
I
very
hear
good.
that. So I would love to have one.
They're
but
not
I'm
8
gonna-
hours of goodness.
If it's like Five Guys, it's way overrated because I heard so many good things about Five Guys,
It's
and
way,
that was just
no.
bleh.
Damn.
In-N-Out is way better than Five Guys.
Oh, no doubt.
Is it
No
crumbly? Is it like a crumbly burger?
No,
No, it's just greasy, messy nastiness. And let me say this: if you go to LA, if you pop off the five and get a crumb or a In-N-Out, you're waiting another hour there. So it doesn't have to be a grand opening. It's still
Well, when I
Wait
was
to get
there
into that
last
place.
when I was there last February in the
Yeah.
San Diego area, they ran at least the one that I went to in San Diego
Mhm.
like a Chick-fil-A. It was
Oh,
their-
really?
Their
Okay.
service was so good because they're packed all the time. The line was to the highway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I'm never going to make my
Yeah.
flight. And sure enough, we
Yeah.
took the chance and they got us in and out quick.
Yeah.
So they get it. I mean, that's how you make, when you have the service, you make more money.
I don't know what the deal is with fast food restaurants lately, and they got to reinvent how you go into it.
Yeah.
Because in the old days, back in the 80s,
In the old
days, there weren't that many people that were driving up at one time to a McDonald's.
Correct.
Now on a Saturday, trying to go to the mall and you want to take your kids to get a Happy Meal,
Mhm.
you are
Mhm.
waiting in a line at McDonald's for hours, at least a half an hour.
Yeah, you
now.
are there a long time.
At least a half
Parking
an hour.
lot.
I think
But what's the longest anybody would wait for anything?
People in the chat line.
What
are
is the
saying-
food
well,
and how long?
Starbucks.
You do
Yeah, people do that.
an hour?
If you're on the highway,
Would you
from,
wait an hour?
yeah, if you're on the highway from
Damn.
St. Louis to Springfield, Missouri, I think there's one Starbucks off the highway, and you have that thing on your Google map, and you are like 40 minutes till Starbucks, 30 minutes till Starbucks, and then you get off the highway, and there's a line around the damn building,
Mhm.
and you're like, here's my choices. I can go over to Quick Trip and get a crappy coffee, or I can sit here for an hour and a half and get one of the best coffees ever made.
I would go to Quick Trip.
Wrong.
I would not sit. I don't even go to Starbucks anyway, but
Yeah.
I would go to Quick Trip because there's hardly nothing that's good enough to wait 8 hours.
Well, Troy says
agree.
that In-N-Out Burger in Idaho, it was inherited. It's owned by a woman, and it was inherited
Yeah.
by her dad somehow, and she's a conservative. So
Mhm.
okay, great.
What franchise would you take to another city? If you could say you can take any St. Louis franchise right now, which one would you take to a different city?
What you mean
That's a
taking? Wait a minute, take St. Louis somewhere?
No.
Okay, you know what I would
Any
take?
franchise? If they said you can have any franchise,
Because I know what you're taking somewhere.
No. Pie.
do you?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Emo's.
Yes.
Pie.
Which is the worst pizza in the
Yes.
world.
You would clean house.
You would.
If
Pie.
you took Emo's, no, pie is way too
I love
complicated.
pie.
Pie is too complicated.
Yeah.
But Emo's is simple It can be a sit down restaurant. You can have it delivered. It is the square beyond compare.
There's 2 restaurants in the St. Louis area that I haven't been to in a long time. But when I get more money, I'd like to go back to one of them.
Okay.
Annie Gunn's, I would wait for a long time.
Okay, yes.
Because that's
I've
my
been there
favorite.
only once, and I was so disappointed because the hype is so big.
That steak is the best steak I've had in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys
I
remember
didn't have the
Calico's?
steak, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was
that
a
was
good
one of
one.
my favorites.
And the second restaurant, and now the issue with this is they were promoting drag shows, yet they wouldn't let Vivek Ramaswamy have a fundraising event there.
I know what you're going to say.
And I already brought this up, smack dab in the middle of Webster Groves, Olive and Oak. It was my favorite restaurant in the St. Louis area, and I have not been back to that.
Because of a protest?
Yeah, and it just, you're going to pay more there. And
they didn't
my money
allow
goes
Vivek
elsewhere.
to come.
But they didn't let Vivek, but they allowed drag shows to happen.
Well, that's their gig.
Exactly.
That's their gig.
Yeah.
And allegedly there was no ages on the drag shows as well. Like it was, and that was an issue.
Welcome to Webster Groves.
Yep.
It's what you get. It's what you get.
Lisa says at Smokehouse Market, which is one of the best markets in America connected to Annie Gunn's. If you haven't been in there, you walk in, you'll be shocked and blown. Don't walk in hungry. Lisa says, where's that at? I just lost it. Oh, the Clementine's ice cream. I don't know if I've ever had Clementine's ice cream.
It is. It's in the Meadows in Lake St. Louis. And I think it is a franchise, I think.
Okay, where is the Pine Room? Sarah's talking about the Pine
Room is so good. It's in St. Charles City, and it's this little bitty bar and grill with a cute interior. And I thought, and I am with Sarah, I thought the steak there was just as good as Annie Gunn's. I really did. And for like half the price. I know I'm probably not the norm here where everybody just loves Annie Gunn's. I just don't get it.
Because your hype, it was too big for you.
I think so. I think I was so hyped up.
It would be like me.
Do you remember what you ordered?
I think it was their burger.
Well, see, you didn't do yourself any justice. You didn't do yourself any justice. That's the thing.
Well, but somebody with me had a steak, and they were like, okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like,
I want to hear where there's a better steak than Annie Gunn's and do a blind taste test. Oh,
I would love that too. I would love somebody to put 6 steaks out, and then we all take a bite of it, and we don't know whose it is, and to see who's the best. I love steak.
I don't think you beat Ruth's Chris. I just don't. I think it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
I've
never been there.
Good. It's good, but
let's go to Annie Gunn's. Let's do cancel this
at Annie Gunn's
Christmas party at Annie Gunn's.
I like it.
Are you?
Vic is
I
buying.
like it.
Yeah, I was like, who's buying?
Vic.
Vic is.
Brought to you by Armeni's.
Yeah,
Armeni's.
I have to say, there's something about this episode that just won't leave my head.
Oh, boy.
And
no.
it's something Eric said, and it's the most triggering thing that I think I've ever heard. And it's moldy asparagus.
See?
Oh, yeah, moldy asparagus.
Every time you mention that, I'm just thinking, man, what's that pea smell like?
As
that's
if
disgusting.
asparagus wasn't bad enough.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Moldy asparagus.
I can't get it out of my
Chris, I'm okay. I had this because when we went to, there's a place called Ravanelli's. We went there. My grandma's after her funeral. I had Ravanelli's for the first time in Collinsville, and it is the best fried chicken I've ever had.
Really, I've heard that, but I've never been there.
It is outside of what my grandma and grandpa used to make. They made something called Rice Krispie fried chicken.
Oh, that's
so he
great.
made the batter for the chicken with Rice Krispies. Outside of that, Ravanelli's was the best chicken I had. Great call, at least from this.
I'll tell you, the best fried chicken is crazy. Is at the Lemp Mansion.
Oh, I've had it. It's so good.
I went there for the Ghost Adventures, and I sat
You just sat there and ate chicken.
Yeah, because they have a lunch.
Yeah,
and it's like it's supposed to be kind of the lunch I guess they ate back in the 1800s or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, damn, this is amazing.
So there was a place in O'Fallon that used to pressure cook their chicken, and it was my first job. It was called Burkemper's, and they used to have the best chicken.
I've heard that. I've not. You know who has the best Italian food, but you have to lower your expectations when you go there because it's this little bitty house, and it still has the same grills, and it's in Lime in South City-ish, and it's Montebello's.
Well, that's the kind of show you guys do, right?
Well,
Around St. Louis?
Yeah, it's starting today.
Oh, there's a show today down in the
yeah,
Lou.
it's starting today.
Okay.
On food.
Oh, is that are we hitting the mark in what you guys are talking about?
Yeah, a lot of it. Very similar to that and events.
Okay.
But the best pizza, I'm telling you, if you go with low expectations
So now it's
for
pizza,
the
not Italian or
any of it. It could be Italian, but it is definitely their pizza. It was made in the 1950s, 1953, I think, and they have the same exact pizza oven.
Yeah.
So you will have to sit a little bit because the pizza ovens are old, and it's Montebello's Pizzeria, and it is, oh my gosh.
Does anybody agree with me? Now, you guys might not have been the same schools that I was, that the best pizzas ever created were the box pizzas in your cafeteria.
Yes, it's good memory.
Do you remember those?
They were the square beyond repair.
Those
beyond repair. Okay.
Yeah.
Those greasy things. Oh man, I loved them.
I was thinking it would be a great idea. Now, anybody has any money out there, call me up. If we did a restaurant that was similar to your high school or elementary school cafeteria, and it was the same food, the soy burgers.
You mean creating one?
Yes. And it had the whole milk, the kind that tasted good, not the crappy kind, because it was in the plastic carton for too long. I'm talking.
No, I mean, you're about nostalgia.
The French fries were the best.
They were.
And we could have a Francis Howell section where they had the big cinnamon roll. That was
big cinnamon roll. I remember those shakes that were like really thick. You just had to be careful that X-Lax wasn't put in it on that day.
Oh my God.
But, yeah.
I think that restaurant would be over. It would be 9 hours to get in the place, not 8 hours.
Correct.
Screw that.
Pretty cool. Just that pizza alone.
Just the pizza alone.
Yeah.
Just the pizza alone, and it would be cheap. It would be like $1.50 a piece. You could go and get 10 pieces.
You remember those chocolate peanut butter squares?
Yes.
Now we're cooking with Crisco, people.
Eric, inflation would not allow you to cook for $1.50 slice.
Well, they were like 50 cents.
I would be rebellious.
It would be like $8 a slice.
And you could even set it up to where you had a school counselor and he said, I forgot my school money. And they go, okay, here's a ticket.
Yes.
You know, like, remember that?
Yes.
It was like, and then your mom had to pay for it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, school lunches, if you forgot it, you didn't have to be afraid. Your teacher would give you a ticket, and nobody went hungry, and you still got one of those pizzas.
That's right.
The other interesting thing is, I'm just curious. We're trying to look at where people are trying to come in to do, POs. Somebody got a shout to POs. And then, of course, near and dear to my heart, I liked Emo's, Eric, until I moved to Detroit and had real pizza.
I'm with you, brother. I know where you're going with this.
And then I started, I was like, oh, okay. There's so many damn good choices up here.
Yeah.
And then, and I have to admit, though, I recently had Emo's and it was good, Eric. It was fine.
I literally, so when I moved back from one of the greatest cities of all time, Seattle, Washington, I had to write down a pro and con list. I was like, man, do I really want to move back to St. Louis? I had a con list that was probably as long as my arm.
Oh, okay.
And the only thing I had on my pro list was my mom and Emo's Pizza.
Well, your mom and Emo's must be very important.
That's it. It's like, and I think the Rams were here then, so I think I might have scribbled the Rams.
But it's a
We're glad you came back.
But it's a territory standpoint too of where you grow up. You get used to certain things.
That is
that true?
Yeah.
I mean,
think so.
I never knew there was anything besides Emo's Pizza until I left St. Louis.
Like I'm not a big New York style pizza guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how spongy the bread is.
Right.
You know, it's like it's floppy.
Wendy's is now
can't stand that.
Wendy's is now serving New York style pizza.
And I haven't had it yet, and I would like to because I'm with you.
I gotta go check that
out. Derek's here, Derek Pratt. Welcome into the show, buddy.
Hey, morning.
They're going to kick off their show today with Joe, Lizzie, and Derek regarding Down the Low. I guess it's apropos to bring you in as we're talking about what people would wait in line 9 hours, 8 hours for. They did in Idaho for freaking In-N-Out Burger.
I've never had an In-N-Out Burger, and it's also awesome to be here on a Friday free for all. Usually,
it is.
Usually,
so fun.
I'm usually never here when Eric's here, and so this is fun. I listened on the way in. Eric, I'm not a big coffee drinker when it comes to like a Starbucks.
I understand.
I mean, I make it at home, so it's kind of easy, but waiting an hour for a coffee, no. I don't think I would do that.
Nobody becomes a coffee drinker if later in life. So how it happened for me is I started a business in Seattle. And right about 100 yards from my front door was a Seattle's Best Coffee.
Okay,
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
man, I'm just dragging ass today.
Yeah.
I was about 30 years old. I'm just dragging ass. I'm just going to walk down.
Not too far long ago, right?
Yeah.
30 years old.
Yeah, I'm just going to go
It
walk
was
down.
yesterday.
I'm going to walk down to this little stand and I go, hey, just give me coffee. I go, what kind of coffee? Like a latte? And I go, of course. Hello. And I said, do you want any flavoring in it? And I said, well, I don't know. What do you got? Vanilla. I go, boom.
So they kind of sucked you in pretty much.
So you go, do you want someone before you has an extra shot? Do you want the extra shot? I go, well, why not?
Right.
And so
Eric's crawling on the wall in
Right.
about 5 minutes.
So I remember it was a Monday. And about an hour after this latte, I had gotten more accomplished in the one. Entire, and I was like,
speaking of latte, it's funny you say that. I don't know if I was watching a TikTok or whatever video it was, but I think it was a comedian. He said, I'm trying to be healthy, so I got my morning latte, and then found out that it's the equivalent to eating 5 glazed donuts.
Bingo.
He goes, but
wow.
it wasn't that bad because I'd have my latte and only eat 2 glazed donuts. But if you think about it, I can get rid of my latte completely and eat a dozen, and I'm fine.
Okay, I'm gonna. You're right. That's correct. Here's how you fix that: go and get a tall latte.
All right, now that confuses me. It's like, give me a small, medium, or large.
So to get the smallest latte you can,
okay,
put as many shots in it as you can. It cuts down on the milk and then say, and
is that the espresso shots or
yes,
okay,
yes,
I just want one pump. And you go from a very unhealthy drink to an amazing energy drink.
What's the longest you've ever waited in line for coffee, Eric? Whether you chose to or were forced
2
to?
hours.
2 hours.
What?
For one coffee?
Yes.
What kind was
at
it?
Aspen, Colorado, when I was skiing.
Oh.
When I was skiing, it was like
That
we went into the little cafe.
Because there's so many people ahead of you.
So many people with so many skis and just walking around effortless, with a lot of effort, I should say,
Holy
with those
shit.
skis.
You hear a lot of clip, clop,
Yeah.
click, clop, click, clop.
And they're very slow and they don't care because it's that time of, they're like, whatever, this isn't New York.
I can see the 2 hours on a ski slope like that. Now, go back to your thing. You were guys talking about what restaurant or what would you take somewhere else? I don't know if you read mine. Joya's Deli.
Oh, Joya's is good.
I mean, hell, any
Joya's is good. I wasn't blown away by Joya's, but
it's one of those things. It's like a cult favorite here in the St. Louis area.
It
But
is.
even Amaghetti's, or if you go down, I mean, you can't go wrong on the hill.
I was going to say
the
that
hill is way overrated.
It is. It's way overrated.
The hill is.
It is.
You go to
Napoli,
and you're going to get way better Italian food at Napoli than you are anywhere on the hill.
Don't disagree with you.
Amaghetti's is not even Amaghetti's anymore.
No,
it's owned by different
I believe
people now.
they've
But
sold or
back
something like that.
Yeah, back in the day,
is
they were.
changing.
Oh,
I always look for
you
those.
Take Amaghetti somewhere else. You think that'd be a good change?
that was
You got to make money. You got to make money.
See, that's the problem.
You gotta make money.
I enjoy the sandwich, but I don't know.
I like it.
It's a cult situation.
Yeah,
it's a cult. It's a St. Louis cult thing. So bringing something like that, there is no really business like that you'd be able to take somewhere else, because even Steak and Shake, the original CEO
failed.
The original CEO of Steak and Shake was from St. Louis.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did you know? Lisa is bringing up. She says, "Now, when can we talk about the Springfield cashew chicken? Did you know when you go have cashew chicken somewhere, it was created in Springfield, Missouri?
Really?
What are you talking about?
Cashew chicken's from Springfield.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
China.
No, it really was created.
What province in China is Springfield in? I mean, is it Springfield everywhere?
Cashew chicken, right?
Yeah,
in the walk.
Yeah, cashew chicken that is Americanized probably was made in Springfield, Missouri.
Here's another one. When I was a kid, I never
Somebody
understood
dropped
why.
some nuts in it. Basically,
It's amazing.
Why the
It is good
owners
stuff.
of Lion's Choice never went national? They were just in the. They were just
such
in
a good question.
They
Yeah,
were
it's
just
so
in the
good.
St. Louis metropolitan area.
well, you remember
and they said they
Rax?
never wanted to go. No,
Rax was like the Lion's Choice or the Arby's.
Yeah,
And
I don't remember.
They
I worked at Rax.
disappeared.
I worked at Rass Roast Beef.
Yeah, that's one of those chains that disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Well, see,
Remember
now you
Burger
guys are
Chef?
talking about
Burger
stuff.
Chef,
You
yeah.
guys are talking now restaurants that have zero name recognition.
yeah, and
That's
that's
true.
the thing.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You cannot just stick something in the middle of a city. It has to have a little bit of Oh, like a Crumbly Burger,
Yeah.
or like what we were just talking about, In-N-Out. You might not know it in St. Louis,
I think Emos,
but you've heard about it.
I think
Emos is the closest
I
we
think
got.
I think you're right. I think and I think Emos would
You know
be
why?
the one that would go because
Emos was Obama had it delivered to the White House.
well, they ship it frozen.
I did it every year.
Yeah.
You can ship
Every
it.
year.
You can ship
I
it
did.
frozen.
That's right. That was my Thanksgiving Day
Like-
dinner.
And it wa-
Really?
yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
Well, and you can also buy it in the stores.
Yeah, but
it's
you don't-
not the
It's
same.
weird.
It's not the
It's a
same.
little bit strange. But I used to have it dry iced
Mhm.
on a
Okay.
plane
Yeah.
to Seattle, Washington.
Yep.
Every year, and that was my Thanksgiving Day
That's
dinner.
pretty cool.
And I was thankful for that because I
Yeah.
hate turkey so bad.
Yeah, you don't like
No.
Thanksgiving food. You don't like any of it.
And I don't like tours. I don't like going on the family tour. I don't like the mandatory 7 o'clock. We got to go to your mom's house, and then we got to go to your kid's house, and then we got to go to church, and then I can't stand that. It makes it so unpleasant. Anyway, go ahead.
But
Sorry.
it
can
is. It's so
also-
stressful.
You can also get all the different things from Emos, like the crust,
To make it.
the sauce, the cheese,
That's too much work.
everything, and,
That's
it,
too
and, and
much.
it tastes exactly the same.
So that would be the IKEA version of Emos.
Yeah.
Right. Do it yourself. DIY.
That's funny. That's very true.
Hey, while we have you in studio, so talk about the show.
Okay, so
When you be on, and what people can expect.
So the new show starts today, 12:15 at 10:30 a.m. So today we're going to do one show a week. We're shooting for Fridays, but it's one of those things to where it's a St. Louis thing. We're here locally in St. Louis, and we love our city. And what we want to do is we want to promote our city.
Mhm.
We want to promote, those little small hole in the wall places that, like Jim's Burgers in the middle of Cottleville that, somebody out in South County might not know about, or, over on, different parts of the city where they have something that makes them very special. And when I was talking about this, I was wanting to do a podcast, and I thought, you know what, let's do a sports one. But, sports is sports. And the city that we live in is such an amazing city. I know we the ones that live here kind of take it for granted, but the city of St. Louis has so many fun, free things to do.
Yeah.
Free.
And we're not just talking about the city; it's the whole
No, it is.
metropolitan area.
It's the city and the metro area. So I mean, we talk all the way about Wentzville, Troy. I mean, that's technically
Metro.
if you think about it, anything
Yes.
in the you were in TV. So when they say the local viewing area,
Well, the St. Louis metropolitan area, you go all the way down to close to
Festus,
Augusta.
Oh,
Well,
I'm talking. We had people
Yeah.
watching us in Augusta.
Yeah. So
Augusta,
Oh, you guys are down by Farmington. You
Yeah.
guys are down
Augusta,
So-
Farmington, all
Way
those
down there.
places.
So when I kind of was thinking this and I was talking to my wife and everything, I'm like, you know what? We need something to
St. Genevieve.
really promote
Yeah.
different places in the Lou. So Lizzie and I always have fun when I'm with, filling in for Vic and everything. And I told her, I said, we got great chemistry. I said, would you be willing to, come with me? She's still going to do this show, but her and I have that great chemistry to the fact that, she's the yin to my yang on some of the goofy stuff. And with her knowledge in the St. Charles area, my knowledge in the South County area, and then, with other friends we have in the general area of that, is we want to really promote the Lou, tell you about all the great things you can do in the Lou, and, basically give it to a perspective of Riverfront Times meets the Travel Channel.
Yeah.
So today,
See, the thing about St. Louis, and I hope you guys do this, is when you St. Louis is, you have to kind of go between the cracks about where the cool stuff is.
yeah, because they're hidden.
Well, and they're
To a
also
point.
in
Some
dangerous
are,
places
not all.
too.
Well,
Some
some
are.
of them are. Like to Eric's point, there's some really good like
I can think of
soul
what.
food or other places that are in the city. And do you know you have to be invited into those? If you just walk in there with your white face,
So-
even though the food's so good, you have to be invited by somebody.
Well,
that's
I'll give you an
black.
example.
I am a medium Almond.
There-
Come on now.
Like
There
going
is
on
a
an Indian
place-
reservation.
I'm going to give you guys a great example. There's a place down in St. Louis that's across from not the factory. What's the other one? The armory.
foundry
The armory.
or armory.
It's
yeah.
across the highway from the armory, and it's called like the Pitch and Putt. It's like a restaurant kind of a thing.
Oh, is that the new golf?
Yes, the new golf
mini golf place.
Mini
Yeah.
golf.
Yes,
I've had
yes.
a few friends say it was kind of cool, but my car got busted into
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, our friend Jonathan.
And then you stay away from it.
And then it's like, I mean, I think that should be part of your
Or-
stories
well,
as well.
Or Crown Candy Kitchen.
Yeah, well,
Crown
as I
Candy
say-
Kitchen,
and you know what's
yes.
funny?
Yeah.
I'm 42 years old. and I have not been to Crown Candy yet.
You're missing.
I've
They
been
have
there once.
the
So that is going to be
BLT
that is going to be
ever.
one of the things that I know.
And the Andy,
As
who's
God
the
is
owner,
as God is my
great.
witness, I have
Okay.
never been to Crown Candy. So Crown Candy, I do follow you. We do follow you
So are
on
you guys
social media.
Are you guys going to do? Because I could see you doing this. This restaurant was great. It was the amenities are amazing. It was great, but you only give it like a 2-star because it's not in a safe neighborhood, or maybe it's like it's on the top of whatever. Are you going to give it a rating?
No,
kind of a system?
No, not really. Because we want to really promote no matter what the situation is, because we know, no matter where you're at. I mean, Crown Candy is an establishment. They just happen to be, established in now an area where it's a little sketchy.
Where they steal his copper.
Yeah, I mean, where it's a little
they
sketchy.
do.
Yes.
But what we really want to do is
Poor
we want
Andy.
to throw the positives about our city, because you hear so much negative, especially in the downtown area. It's always about
But
this
good-
and
but
that.
good
So
reason.
Gunshots are considered negative. Aren't
By
they?
the way, I have to get.
Vic doesn't care. Vic is totally fine.
it only happened one time.
As a
It's
matter
okay.
of fact,
It's okay.
never mind.
One time.
Never.
One time.
Cindy had a shout out, and I haven't been to this one, but when we get out to Imperial, getting out south, Trattoria Giuseppe's. I've heard-
Giuseppe's.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Giuseppe's used to be on Clarkson and Clayton. At one
I was told
point.
that that's a really good place to check out. Hadn't been there yet, so thanks for that shout out
Yeah.
as well.
Got to cover
and the-
Lambert's.
Yeah, well, and that's the other cool thing is we were talking about, as the show progresses and we get more followers, we can do Low Down in the Lou on the road.
Yeah.
Go down.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to go to these locations?
We're
or
going to
just
go to
talk
these
about it?
locations.
KC
Yeah, so
barbecue.
we're going to actually try to get a hold of these businesses. We might even just on a random Thursday evening, hey, let's go do dinner somewhere, and then we're going to go
show
live.
up.
We're going to go
you
eat
mean-
dinner, go
yeah,
live,
I like that.
and just kind of pop in.
Yeah, because I always ask Bing, hey, Bing, tell me 10 cool places in St. Louis to go to. And Bing always says, there are none. Goodbye.
Well, and that's one of the cool things that we're going to have on our website.
Stay safe. Merry Christmas.
Take your pew pew with you.
Yeah,
You are going to need it.
You could say this has got the best,
Yeah.
best creme brulee. But
Well-
if you don't bring your gun, don't
But
come.
Derek, what's can you tease today's
I
show?
will tease. So he's been on this show numerous times. Gold Star father, Mark Schmitz. He'll be talking about the Freedom 13 pub crawl, the 3rd annual pub crawl. And we're also going to have Jen Stanley, the owner of Mascots in St. Peter's. And she happens to be the first business that signed up for the Freedom 13 pub crawl. So we'll be talking about all of the different places that you can join for the pub crawl. We will also try to have that map on our website.
That's awesome.
So you can support that.
Mhm.
And I believe I was talking to Ben from Wenty's, and I know Wenty's is a big supporter of the Freedom 13. And I will tease this, that Wenty's is down the road. So we will be Lizzie and I will be tasting the New York style pizza. So Eric, Vic, if you guys want to join us for that one.
Where's it at? Where?
Wenty's.
Oh, it went.
Yeah.
So is it new?
The New York style pizza is, I believe,
It's-
last couple of months
Okay.
or so.
Well, yeah, it's there. I like their other things better.
Oh, they have amazing burgers.
They
Smoked
do.
wings.
They do. I
Smoked
just have not had the
I've
pizza, but I've had
given them the
everything else.
last time I was on, I gave them the award of world's greatest smoked meats.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
World's
my opinion.
greatest.
That was my opinion, but
You know, that's a good point. They have the smokers in the back. I
Yeah.
never
do.
realized.
Yeah.
You smell it
How about a
everywhere.
smoked
chicken
pizza?
wings? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Stop
Nothing,
talking, guys.
Never-
I'm trying to lose weight.
Eric's getting
I know.
hungry.
I'm with
nothing better than
So, yeah.
smoked meat.
So yeah, we're gonna do a show once a week. It could be either in studio or from an actual location. If we go location, it will probably be pre-recorded. But there will be times we'll just pop in a place and go live on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever.
How
Hey,
fun.
check out. Okay, guys, see if you can find anything about this. This sounds interesting to me. It says we went to this small liquor store in St. Peter's last week, in the St. Louis area. If we have listeners outside of the state, didn't know it was there, but saw that they had an eggnog tasting,
Oh.
beer and barbecue off Mid Rivers.
You know what?
What's its name?
They have
Yeah.
stuff going on all the time.
It's the drive-through liquor store on the I believe it's on the left-hand side if you're going towards Highway 70.
What's it called? There's
Ah.
several liquor stores right there. We need to find that out.
I don't know.
I know, but I love
I'll
eggnog.
look it
As long
up.
as they have Bush beer, I'm fine. A Bush Light, I'm fine.
I love eggnog.
You probably shouldn't brag about that, because if people think you like Bush Light, they're not going to believe a word you say about
Hey,
the food.
listen, I'm not a food critic, but I will tell you what, I'll drink Bush Light all day long with my food.
Yeah, I'm not a food critic either, but I wouldn't be afraid going, man, this burger doesn't suck at all.
I mean,
Right, yeah.
Believe me, I'm not gonna put something in my mouth and go, "Oh, this is wonderful."
Yeah.
You know,
You will if they're paying you. enough.
believe me, if they're paying me enough,
good.
as I said,
Yeah.
I'll drink
Yeah.
I'll switch to Bud Light if they pay me enough.
I'll
Yeah.
swallow my own vomit.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
So
I don't think I would do that.
tee up today's show. I know I'm gonna tease it a little bit. What is the first thing you guys are talking about?
All right, so we're going to come in, just kind of explain to you exactly what we are,
Mhm.
who we are,
Yeah.
and welcome you into
Yeah.
our lives. And then Mark and Jen are both going to join us in
Yes.
studio.
Oh, that's
we're,
cool.
We're going to be speaking with Mark about the Freedom 13 Pub Crawl.
Yep.
Which I believe is in February.
Mhm.
So if there's any restaurants, bars, establishments in the St. Louis area and throughout the country, if you're listening throughout the country and you're an owner,
Yeah.
they would love to have you on there. So we'll be able to tell you where to find them.
Mhm.
And then Jen from Mascots is bringing in some of the things that Mascots is the food.
Damn, and I gotta get out of here as soon as
We're
the show ends.
gonna have some food in studio.
When's
So,
it going to be here?
10:30 this morning.
Oh
so.
man.
Yeah, so you guys just wait
I'm
30
ready. I
minutes.
have to race out too.
So we're
I
gonna
have to race
we're gonna
out.
have a little bit of
Bull
grub.
crap.
One of the things that I was talking to Jen about is they have like a corn fritter, and I'm really excited to try this corn fritter.
Okay.
Well, and Lisa's asking, what is the name of the show? How
The-
do you find it?
All right. Well, the name of the show is Low Down in the Lou. Low Down in the Lou. You can find us on, we have a website, lowdowninthelou.com. You can find us on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok,
Very good.
Instagram. I'm still learning Instagram, so please, if it looks kind of janky,
Right.
that's me.
But Spotify, right?
We will be, it's going to be like a podcast, so you're
Yeah.
going to be able to catch the audio.
But with food, it's more of a visual.
We will have. Well, see, that's the great thing about it is we have a YouTube channel, so you're going to see all
Yeah,
that.
that's what you have
and then
to have.
on our page, just like Cancel This, you can actually go back and watch the
Yeah, that's what
videos.
has to happen.
And the
Yeah.
cool thing about it is eventually we're going to have different like tabs on our website.
Mhm.
So you're going to have entertainment, food,
Yeah.
small businesses, and for people that are already in the St. Louis areas, they can go to say you guys live out in the St. Charles area, and there's
Where all the cool people live?
I don't live there, but
That's true.
we're
That's
trying.
true.
Um,
Come on out.
one of these days
We're
I'll
not cool,
I'll
Derek.
get out in God's country. But say there's a really nice little bistro. I think you guys were talking about another when you were talking about Annie Guns and all that. It's a little hole in the wall. So say there's a bistro in the Central West End that you don't really know about in St. Charles area, and we highlight them.
I keep
And
being
then you're like,
I
I'm
keep
going to
being
go there on a Friday night for a date night.
no, you got to check out. I keep being told, the area that's that redid itself in St. Louis.
Oh, the Grove.
The Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I've
a
been-
lot of cool
I've been
places
told
in the Grove.
Of 3 different
Yes.
places in the Grove.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Grove
So,
is really
so you
cool
got
now.
plenty of content.
Oh, there's plenty of content. It's just, trying to, wrap it all into a cohesive deal. I know I will tease this. We are already in talks with Main Event in the Chesterfield area. We're talking with Four Hands Brewery with a new district area. So we're definitely going to get in the district. And,
What is that all about?
So the district is they've definitely revamped that.
They're certainly trying. That's for sure.
Four Hands Brewery is kind of like the cornerstone,
Yeah.
and they're gonna pickleball is huge.
They have pickleball.
They
there?
you're gonna have a huge pickleball court there, and
Yes.
instead of like a restaurant and everything attached to it, it's going to be gourmet snack food.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy,
Okay.
yummy.
Gourmet snack food. So
I've always wanted.
I like gourmet.
I know that you guys probably hate buffets, but I always thought a fast food buffet would be the
Wouldn't
coolest
that
thing
be
ever.
fun, though?
Wouldn't that be the most awesome thing? Let's
Yeah.
say you go down to Four Hands and you walk in the place and they have it all laid out there, and you walk in there, you give them your $15 and you take whatever you want that fit in whatever you had, and then you just left. I think that would be the best.
or how about give
Man, what am I doing? I'm giving all my ideas
How
away.
about $20-$25 and you can just stay there and have some cocktails. and all the rest of that.
So I had to get this out there. The best corn fritter since you brought up that I've ever had.
Go ahead.
Circle 7 corn fritters. They're
Circle
amazing. They've got
Circle
2
7,
locations.
the gas station.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, which gas
No.
station is he
No.
going to?
No, my friend Pete Ferretti, who's been a loyal listener back to The Edge and of our podcast, he owns 2 super successful restaurants in the St. Louis area. One, it's in De Pere.
Okay.
It's on Manchester near 270.
Yeah.
And right near Ham Shop, right near Route 66.
And what'd you say his name was?
Pete Ferretti.
Pete, if you're watching today,
Pete,
join on at 10:30. Give us a look. We'd love to have you on the show also.
And the other one is at 141 and Clayton Road.
I've never had a show where my
I know you're
stomach
talking
was
about.
grumbling so hard.
Oh, I'm
You know
so
what?
hungry now.
Eric might stay
I know.
stay for the next
Asparagus.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no rotten. What'd you call it?
Moldy asparagus.
You don't want that.
No moldy asparagus.
And if you ever run across it, you got to put Eric on camera.
Yeah.
He's an expert at calling that out.
Yeah. If it's like gourmet.
So yeah,
Yeah,
really
if it's
good.
gourmet.
If any of the Cancel This listeners, we love, in the St. Louis area. If you're not, hey, just join us at 10:30. Hope you love the show. Share it with your friends. Keep sharing Cancel This because there are a
Cancel's still the flagship.
as I say, it's we are
Cancel This is still the bitch.
we are
it's like the big guy.
we're just the new kid on the block, and we want to really showcase the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any ideas, please go to our social media pages and shoot us a message. Be like, I know about Jimmy's Burgers or John's hot dogs.
I will say this
over there, and
now,
you got to check them out.
Does it have to all be restaurants?
No.
Okay,
Matter of fact,
here-
we got Top Golf. We've been talking with Top Golf already.
I would love for you to tell me where some trailheads are, some cool hiking.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I ask everybody in St. Louis, St. Charles, I go, where can you just go? Oh, there's a couple trailheads out by whatever.
Out in Eureka, where I live, Greensfelter is a wonderful place
I
for
will
hiking.
tell you about a new one coming that I can't say on air yet. But
Really?
I'll tell you when we get off air.
How come you can't tell us?
Because it is private
He
information.
hasn't built it yet.
It is,
I can't wait.
It is
Can't wait.
private information.
But yeah, like you said, Eric, it's not all restaurants. It's going to be entertainment. Where we're going to try to get in with some of the sports thing. I'm actually going to try to figure out how to get a media credential, so that way we can go down to sports events or
what sporting events are happening in the family arena now?
I believe there's ambush soccer, and I believe they also have a minor league hockey team.
I think it's getting totally renovated too. The family.
See, this is a good show idea.
Yeah, the family.
I always pass by the family arena and go, what are they doing with this dilapidated mess?
Well, and I know the circus is there in the first part of the year with the Shriners.
I have a connection there, so
very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not just all about the businesses and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to the different places in St. Louis that is for free.
Yeah,
we're going to highlight those because the great thing about St. Louis is we got one of the best zoos in the world.
Yeah,
bar none. I mean,
is the alligator still alive from 1904?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Matter of fact,
it is.
I did see something in the news. I know this sounds weird, but I saw something in the news that Raja, our elephant of 30 years here, they're moving him to a different zoo to help keep the population going and everything.
Yeah.
So get to St. Louis before Raja leaves, because
that's sad that Raja's leaving.
I mean, it's one of those things where the elephants are just got to keep repopulating.
Well, dude, good luck with the show today.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
10:30. You can catch it on, as Derek said, Facebook, all of those sites.
Yeah.
And it's called, again,
Low Down in the Lou.
Low Down in the Lou.
And think of it this way.
Yeah.
This is the place that you're going to get the lowdown.
I like it.
You're going to get the lowdown.
And this is not even a joke. It's serious. There is no. I don't know what to do in this town. Right. I don't. I go to Guitar Center, and then I go to
Here's the great thing, Eric. You don't have to worry about Bing anymore.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to Low Down in the Lou.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you.
I mean, we'll tell you, but you can't just go, hey, Derek, what is it? You're going to have to press a button. But we'll give you the 401.
Don't tell me to go on the big carousel down at Union Station, because I don't want to do that.
Derek, put out an idea from somebody before we close out right now. If you could try to get people to give you information on some great lights to go watch.
Yeah.
Yes. Matter of fact, we will talk about a little bit of that today, because it is the holiday season.
Somebody thought that would be a really good idea.
I know last time I was on Cancel This, that the Christmas show that Lizzie and I did, that's one of the cool things we talked about, is the different lights shows and everything in the area.
Yeah.
What would, every different time, and one of the cool things is St. Louis is all about parades. So if there's any anyone that owns a dealership that would like to maybe sponsor the show, we can, use your vehicle in a parade, and we can promote Renew Media.
It needs to be a Dodge Dart, whatever
A Dodge Dart.
I can't-
Pinto. We need a Pinto.
sit on the top of a
Pinto
Dodge Dart.
wagon.
It needs to be a Dodge Dart with 60s on the back.
Could you imagine a Dodge Dart that says Renew Media? Because by the way, that's the parent company to all these shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as Renew Media is
Just
all
trying to
these
help.
shows are underneath.
Another
it.
quick one, Derek. I keep
No,
trying to close
no.
out, but Up and Down Arcade.
Up and Down Arcade. Where is that?
Pinball, beer, video games.
All right, Chris Snyder, you are going to have to stay on with us at 10:30 and join us with Mark Schmitz and Jen Stanley. And please, follow us on all of our social medias. Send us a message if you want to. If you're on TikTok, make a TikTok in front of the place that you want us to go and give us a shout out.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's the people out there in the St. Louis area that know their areas even better than we do.
Yep.
Tell us where you love, and let us come out there and show them some love.
Where's
also.
an equestrian place?
An
God, I
equestrian
could do this all day.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Eric, you need to be on the show with us.
there are two places out in the Fenton area.
Okay.
Matter of fact, a friend of mine, Cindy Scrotto, her family owns, I believe it's Kraus Farms or the other one.
Okay.
And I apologize, I cannot think of the name.
You
But
mean
they're
Crease?
Kraus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it believes Kraus Farms, but there's another. Their family. There's two. I think there's two different families there that own them. And in the summertime, you can actually go and take some friends with you and do a trail ride.
I always want to get on the Stallion, but they try to put me on the Clydesdale.
Oh
all
my
the
God.
time.
There's an equestrian place on Highway N in Wentzville. Also.
There you go.
Okay.
See, you ask the right question,
And
you
if
get the right
anybody
answer.
has ideas, go ahead, check out the show at 10:30 today,
Yeah,
guys.
check us out.
Derek, thanks for jumping on, my
Hey,
friend.
thanks for having me. It's
Guys,
always fun.
Thanks for all the listeners and viewers. Another great show. Eric, of course. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Pro Joe, of course. Vic Faust, we got another big week next week coming up. We'll have a lot. We may have, 3 or 4 different politicians next week coming in. Talked to them all last night. We'll get it in. We've got some other good guys. And by the way, thank you for all of your support yesterday. You guys loved the water segment. It's turning out to be one of our most popular segments that we've had.
Yeah, who knew?
I got a call from their owner and said, your audience is one of the most inquisitive audience. People were buying yesterday because you see the value in that. That water is one of the most popular things that we can talk about. So, and what is real, what is not, why bottled water is not safe, why just crazy stuff. So he said, I have been involved and talked with actors and he does a lot of marketing with Ted Nugent's show. And he's like, your audience is extremely smart. And they obviously love the segment. So thank you guys. I knew you would love it. I'm glad you did. And we're going to have more with centuryh2o.com for sure. Have a great weekend, guys. December 15th. That does it for this podcast. We will catch up with you next time. So with that, have a great weekend, and we will catch up with you guys next time.
He said ketchup,
Ketchup.
like the food.
Is it with a K or with a C?
We'll mustard
Is it the K or the C?
We're going to mustard it all up.
Got some relish?
And pickles. Chicken and pickle.
Yeah.